shisha juma obia agenda RC so di bia ba be bomo say your friend agenda. Just said the agenda is agenda. Do you know what I mean? Well, na dey atna sere na wonim say yan common here ba betwetwe. But before then, mami boy you me we mama etie for na muntie ni. This one is the latest one from our CEO the Ababetum. Was see a friend agenda where your burger high life papa. Na nyum no wonim say MCI e bo ade nyum ne de me feel de na say ye bebo ho ama na tete. So what you see? I see nya but was see e ma re ho mami momo number utu nse momo no de peja sonsom. Momo ni peja sonsom.
Momo peja honhom me honhom wo fom obi kame wa me na ba kame ne pele me honhom wate na unya ba me da fom team
una fom team una fom keja
wo me na say ya kwacho mo lift my spirit there's man yeah, for
I'll see the Ababetum was see a friend agenda. Ya set the agenda ne we ndie na we say to me who say juma no ye the best so etie for a higher piece 104.3 Wuti entertainment review.
What on the entertainment review. And then Mr. Wuberton some entertainment review. Entertainment review. Entertainment review. Ghana for my man fans,
Obi moi mie, somo bi mamie. I need some help. Put my head on fire, can't cool. My head on fire, can't cool. Slowing down on the marijuana, baby. Spending time training my mental. Softly make I take you to the right place. K-Bones, I'm on him, denda. You can't testify, no be easy. No be who say, he say, she say. When you hear say I need some healing, I be up and how much and I'm screaming, Father, Father. My demons still they after me, yo. Principalities force what I me do. Make I know the verse, make a coolie body, yo. Cause they make a shaman, ya in me musu. Na cash out kinds of me, who you. They know who I'm before, they want to do too. Obi moi mie. Somo bi mamie. I need some help. Put my head on fire, can't cool. My head on fire, can't cool. Obi moi mie. Somo bi mamie. I need some help. Put my head on fire, can't cool. My head on fire, can't cool. Of late I've been needing racks, a lot too much money. Margin in a mullah, naturally in a mamuna. One side the wicked die, I'm into me rested. Me I assume operations, I'm into me party. Got to join him sound, Mr. Shabras is halfway. Me age is a fine wine, me age is a fine wine. Me got to join him sound, Mr. Shabras and him way. Me age is a fine wine, mommy age is a fine wine. Obi moi mie. Somo bi mamie. I need some help. Put my head on fire, can't cool. My head on fire, can't cool. Obi moi mie. Somo bi mamie. I need some help. Put my head on fire, can't cool. My head on fire, can't cool.
What on the entertainment review. And then Mr. Wuberton some entertainment review. Entertainment review. Entertainment review. Ghana for my man fans.
It's here for a higher peace 104.3, 18 minutes after 1 and AM minute the 28th of June. Senya wodi we fidia to ede na onim sem komona na e ba be hyase no. And no utu wani na se wo hwe eye theater art as emu no e page pa. Wo share the likes of Image Bureau, April Communications, Roverman Productions, Latif Abubakar, wo mo keka mo ye theater art ni na no. Ene emu page pa akwakoya dia Ghana for ye patronize pa just and then ukọ National Theatre say wo ye play me so betumi eyi no 1 week a honi na be bobby ayema amankrofo ababa behwe na otwe me na mententam fidie no so na me hu eye article bi a me feel say e wose ye di hu nkomo pa eye the National Theatre of Ghana has signed an MOU for new play in August. Woman a year Image Bureau, any April Communications. I'm about to produce a year a new play. I'm about to in August. Yeni a year George Quay. Yeah, the CEO of Image Bureau, Ebe Kasa, Ebe Kwa Humansu ni na kasa no acheche mu yie pa adekode potia this a year MOU no seeks to achieve. George, ote yankai ma kwa by the entertainment review so.
MCA you boy me chairman so be ahwe there.
Obi ahwe. Okay.
I'm more fairly and I'm trying to create you do me na you were hair out create by your location issue see and you can create na much more on find something.
Okay, George. Yes, sir. Now, George, MOU Amoni National Theatre assigning. Yes, boy mukaka. What exactly does it mean and what does it seek to achieve?
MC Medase. Over the years now, Image Bureau Communications National Theatre here. You started your collaborations na nyedi dikane. Under the previous leadership, Madam Amy Apia Frempong, Mreni, you started with Sobeka, The Gods Are Not to Blame by Olaru to me. That time, na me artistic director in residence for the National Theatre. Na enu ichino, you sign another collaboration with them in honor of Professor Martin Owusu, I know the legend of Acoustica. In which, in honor of Yaya Mea Winyana Bay, because part of her centenary celebrations, if was Sutherland, the centenary celebrations, no, so you more assign a partner, the marriage of Anansewa. Now, you baby say, I think I'm ready to say a new partner because MCI boy, no crown your meaning, National Theatre Performance, no, or my idea, papa. We share National Drama Company, National Dance Company, the National Symphony Orchestra now. Montea say work for theatre ijumana. And my working with them is so smooth and so easy. My discipline, so the professionalism is so there. It is worth commending. Internet say yebe hire to the Abunibesia reinvent the wheel. Now na walk your auditions 10 Asheshan Crawford. Sometimes they will not even fit the profile now or channel. The two and more the National Theatre, they are usually not free or more because they are there, the professionals are there. And almost huge man say, oh my check into only huge man and said I ain't too much. No correct they are outsiders. Yes, so your performance be said your monk National Theatre for no one. Yeah, they almost echo join and my human age media IFS. Now, one of the main reasons and soon so I say any more ASR partnership a year. Please now your fan, please not pa. Aside Yenya Burma chief moment, no so I have very large cast play. I know a man's award. No, many shows that Upipia, I player, a career caster, a social they are young pain. Share the gods are not to blame. You soon Nipabe 150, almost 200. Legend of Acoustica was even worse because the National Symphony Orchestra so account. In the numbers, not the NA 200 cry and none. Or one name, titles, Nadia Kekahoni na and the name. You hear, no, a few years I go back to Nigeria view. Na Ubibaka said this is one of the biggest plays. Ubisa Nigeria for near Jombaka was a play, a play of India grow. A Wulisho Inca. Wulisho Inca is a Nobel Peace Prize winner in literature. Or show play there, a friend of Death and the King's Horseman. The MCI was a play, it is based on a true story. ABB issue war Yoruba Chrome, I think around 1942. Now, what's your story now? Quite interesting because maybe we call colonialism as Sibiano. At some point, there was a cultural clash between colonialism and your traditional rights. Now, this story is typical. What Yoruba culture, normal says, Ohine, Inya ne baby kwa, Ubia na Oshe ne Kong also, the king's horseman. And was there also a baby, a bloody friend or ritual suicide, Okuneho. Omubekupon, Konono, Punekame, Ohine na no Shene Sono, because you are also a chief. I was also a committed ritual suicide. No, me na echo some Ohine no was some nado. Internal, a drew, Elise, Basso said, it was a committed ritual suicide. Now, traditional authorities and that the colonial masters, no, almost say it was barbaric. Internet, Ija Omocheno, actually, if he has a someone penny, a man committed such ritual suicide. And it led to, a whole number of problems near there. Eventually, the listening Babema and Anka Oku school Abuchi, in his father's place, just to save the family name. It's a very deep African story. It has various themes. Theme of duty, theme of responsibility, theme of understanding, and theme of cultural appreciation. Now, we share the way Ghana, your culture, we have jealously guarded it. Theater said it is going places and doing very well. If you say, can't your stories now, we should look beyond Ghana and tell a continental story that would safeguard your culture across the continent. We share cultures now, they are similar. International differences we are trying to portray that. So it is about time I embrace your culture. Nenye emribiana or who we be about a was away. And now who we so who we ba no access our culture and now there wouldn't know there would you show there what inheritance free would none of idea no Brunibiana or who would ban also touch near. Sabe air no paying as what actually. Because say a culture net the new be an air, you could so we may not have the kind of society we have today.
Okay.
This is the kind of story I want to tell. And it has a lot of dancing, a lot of drumming, a lot of music, and great acting.
Okay. Now, same way there, I'm say far-fetched, but Mamimbusa. I think say the growing, the pace at which a theater and a grows is saying a konopa. Now there are people ebi wo ho one more person will take part. How can they join your team, George? Because me too will say be me were acting capabilities be say in theater mama na ya kono say ye mpese ye bekwa ko gina TV so afia be record ye say there be say ye pese ye play into obi finding a year this yes.
You see the difference between theater and a film. Me no has be not me what film set. Some says here, I mean, scripts now, I have had it for like a month. Machine there 2-3 times. Eba says that Ukakakra, Yakakat. Now, what relaxing you two before Friday, you drew a swap. Maybe they say, I can't be 3 things that we channel it. It's trying other access on the Bania Swasso. Now, and also, usually, a more relaxed idea. Now, so stage enters stage say, I was all Barry Heads out for about 3 months. Which na stage, what kind of lines in mistake being there's no room for errors. So margin of error now usually not sad discipline and a problem no obi so acting now so nipa dodo thing na benya sad discipline not as submitted to the rehearsals the director's instruction stage and should I about just the reciting the words on the stage said yeah it was original said yeah was you with him said yeah was you with next even the tone of your voice and the pace of your speech no internet our doors are always open now so amount for a discipline and the commitments not about the drum about you to me I get theater executions image pro communications that in the group so Marina the swimming a play to we put the word out so follow me on social media you see so from time to time me the nyoma eto me Facebook ne IG ne dey keka ho bisa for one type of character or the other play yeah baby death and the king's horseman there are actors are be free London about joining
wow
because here so what follow me productions and so which means say yen pesa fake nyoma ne use the legend of acoustica there was since idea here or
the way na mu ya obi be no for no the way
the gods are not to blame
now and you say na real pa
it was real we're depicting the culture internet was there the gods are not to blame. I'm so na yenya saw that a soldier and it was proper fire. Legend of Activism say there was a scene near here waterfall. We actually built a waterfall on the stage. There was a scene with animals, turtles, in our life. Gods are not to blame. Don't want to machine across the world. Among for enter you see toy babies near there. Oh, there.
Yeah.
The young there, we used an actual baby, a real life baby. On the stage,
Yeah.
Theater is exciting, and we always want to challenge ourselves as directors. Say, look, if you know my say, oh, be anything, I'm different. Now, that play away, that Death and the King Source Money, I baby and August winner, MCI boa, Mamenka, the piece of a review, who be your baby shippy be the ninja no, who be your baby shippy, and is not blown away, said your Brunebe Canano, who may I choose to premium.
Wow, that is very daring. But George, I think so one of the challenges are tight when it comes to your events, even including theater at CIAA, is sponsorship. Say yenya corporate entities, some of my baby sponsor na yenya big budgets, when it comes to sponsorship near the end. Say no, for me, it be a woman or other views and opinions on it. But me, I'm teaching me who is theater and say peja. I'm a man for a patronize the pint. Say more sponsorships. So in Yaman, a corner name is it better? And how is it doing?
Oh, MCA, well, as an organization, Image Group and April Communications, we've been quite blessed. No prayer, Sikano, Winya Sadia, a best enough set with me into production cost now so a bois. A bit with stage, a bit with say, a bit with say, which are over the years now. Yeah, like support from various organizations. Mamenda or Mauko Fajino or that Stanbic Bank, Mendana say. Why are they buying since we started this theater journey? The Ghana Tourism Authority, almost since we started this theater journey. Also, organization because send me plans car rentals. We use as a car rental, so the theater for bank. Now, so rat you agent a ubia or theater, but one casa into please now, Baba Shibi or Mamba Shekwa or science or supporting. Over the years, and so MTN, upwaying with various levels of support near there. I'm a player here, Baby France, or almost signing up a dome upwaying view. Internet air that near the these organizations, if we say, don't want now so a better theater not home. Because MCI women now down, yet show your production budgets, it's scary and mind blowing. So play baby, share that info baby, even your cost and full. Now so initial budget I had I'm almost 2 million cities. Yep, you came 1.5 million data. The Legend of Activism, we blew almost 1.2 million cities on that production. We said now we've been with back. And
I'm say.
We barely even break even. Now, so we are doing it for the passion. And I'm in such a way that it's me, other things are bringing revenue in other ways. Other legitimate things are. Now, so can I say a beer book, so can work on the internet. Other legitimate things are bringing revenue.
Right.
Internet, we believe that we are sowing a seed. We believe that sorry for the back, we are sowing a seed. Now, when people buy into the seed that we are sowing, it will bear fruit. People would come and we would even beg them to go home because theater na ya mabro. So we experience it with the gods are not to blame.
Right.
The gods are not to blame. Nipa be 13 times. Internet each time Nipa 1,000 at the share. That's about 13,000 people watching the play. Internet we are hoping that Death and the King Source Money and also by saying it received that kind of patronage, that kind of acceptance, that kind of love. So you beat me, I settle your cost. You best will be here and try now on the shipping. Because MCI was a one wire in survive it. Mamenda Ura for the Dixon piece of a pushing also assay. Over the years, they be a audio advert bar for the Dixon and Yadio Bejo Capra. The other kind of theater, the SAP in a more building, into Yensu and support and OG adverts more body free. Adverts Nebu Okra, Peace FM creating near Moewu, now so for the Dixon Betchy Abonasa, Naminsha, Yadana Sibibre. In the NCI, the corporate institutions be organizations be here. So better say a Roberman Productions. So better say a Mimiabema Francis Lutako. so better say Latif Abubakar, so better say Chief Moment, so better say Africa Arts Network, and now organization via national theatre on their own doing a production. Your best stress get proceeds are never enough. Because the me and charge the premium we are supposed to charge. So because MCI National Theatre total seating capacity of 1,492. Seats now so you say you are working with 1,400 seats. So production budget 1.5 million. Now you only have 1 or 2 weekends to run the show. How many tickets cost now? To be able to even break even. Now yes, we are in a Ghanaian situation. Now saying no correct. You see, we are praying that it will even get better. So the amount for revenue near the end, don't want to be come bottom because solution you must set theatre next film media keka ho. And I don't want to use the abroad friend and disposable income. Sabi, we did you when your baby ada. Which may a son who yare, let the Akoma shed the Indian school fees at Toton Tadias and Near
and Sunny Baby Entertainment.
And Sunny I should theatre a bigger friend of contest in the Akeka. Yet here say no problem, we are not contesting with that. But your best say you bit me in a lot more patronage. Nasa disposable income problem into my me empire ticket cost na enco premium no. Because MCI one she now Kokasa we play with 500 cedis. Only will be sharp on Beshamon. I don't have a problem now. Yes, right? Yes, Ghanaians should embrace theatre. To say Ura Socrates have to say the support that he has given to theatre in this country on his own as an individual. Almost every play via or Beshibin or the Bibika to social media. And there is no publicity better than word of mouth. In the best way, no crasa mobile trotto was a no filming or video of this production or photography. Now so words now better amount for better say. In the best way, usually your flyers near there so you had a tohua amount for and share because MCI wa theatre you bit media assistance society in so many ways.
No crap.
Nyoma dodo nyoma bonne ayo kosu ko ne ade nyina no. Small bit by bit you bit me the theatre assessor. Your last player in March, Beyond the Walls, there was a scene of baby or cars or also and traffic lights near Diana. Uncle Ankit and Kitana, you say, been doing on free Ghana, original, because or not, or started at the end we did two, which Nima had a betane armed robber, and no could hear one someone prison. Yes, I play you top politicians, even more share. After playing and Chibia, we got results on that thing. The Osha went to me a clear if free, some of these children just need to be rescued, and no fault. The parents have put them there, and they are children, they don't know. But it took theatre. Mamenfa, Queen Sum Fanda, Ura Sam George, Ura Alexander, Fenyo Marken, and they almost support theatre, all those in politics. And they, of course, our Honorable Minister, Ablaji Fagumashi, are unknown. So even when she was in opposition, kept supporting us, not just by her attendance, but financially as well.
Okay.
Every time we are from Coco, oh man, you play you. Kakra Ubiano or the piano.
What the boy?
Yaminshano.
Okay.
Yaminshano Ubia.
Na George, the bena play mobile chassis I am. Yeah, the new one, yeah, mobile.
Death and the Kansas man.
Yes.
Every 23rd of August.
Okay.
23rd August 2025 at our National Theatre 4 p.m. You're running a 2 weekends. You're 23rd, 24th, and then 30th and the 31st.
Okay.
23rd, 24th, 30th, 31st.
All right. Now tickets in Bono and also a price in Yamai.
Price number. So if you are on your website, www.imagebureauth.com. And now would dial *714*46# which me at all ticket. 200 standard and a 300 VIP.
Okay.
VIP for no, you design a little experience for them. And yes, what to VIP because I'll bet name or more experience the best slightly different kakra. Near best friends will say be able to VIP tickets now. Come a little earlier. Yene a dancing travel will also air to come and there might be a little surprise for those who may buy the VIP tickets from a dancing travels.
All right.
I mean,
yeah, so yeah, that was to see a friend which is.
Yeah, so wow script at about special. Mention.
Munyan in term na mama na cha mama me talent akada ke macha do Mr. Madam.
Because Arnold, that's my way to say, he has proven himself on stage. So Christopher Niminyadrian, but Arnold is a great stage actor. Messer, one of these days, you guys should come and watch him on stage.
Okay.
Very disciplined, committed actor, and he's good. Arnold, despite the busy schedule, I said he would committed a rehearsals, gets his lines right, and performs creditably in a day. The man is a star.
Okay, I know do TA from Canada. Maybe I will be yes, we yes. George, me try my script, Mr. Wadarima.
Oh, and wouldn't any problem. We script never Shana rehearsals now my winger.
Meba.
Rehearsals no time because you rehearse every day from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
Only problem, George. Only problem. Okay, yeah, that's it, George. Yeah, that's it, baby. All right. Okay, George Quay, the CEO of Image Brew, on train Komo Efa, the new play on Mode Baba, a year from Saturday, August 23rd and August 24th, Kono, and copy me, August 30th and August 31st, National Theatre, no, or Mode Baba, Wallace Oyinka's Death and the King's Horseman and no new player one de baba inti wo pese wo to ticket ni bi na wo kwa to me call www.imagebrew.com na wonso wakwa akoto wo ticket na wakobi ne akwa akohwa ma na effect pa tili
I just made the role in the me
School of Performing Arts, but where they won't count. Yeah, you were
stage plays. So a horse I'm shining the most. I'm out for feeling say me idea wa how bo cry. But in a stage me can bomb. I'ma explode in your face.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm quite excited about this one because theater no usually time I me free school. Theater who come on out me who say the only drama company company like that a hold the theater down it was Roverman. It is what to say Roverman auditions baswa chese score performance whole but you see chese obia one more nim nyomoto one more nim acting you could him acting but you nim nyomoto we don't even go because Roverman production you must have be able to dance, be able to sing and be able to act. Me and I'm a friend they said just acting and I don't even bother going. But now I see because of Image Bureau, April's communication, Nyansapo was also there at the time. Your friend they say more production houses are abandoning to know. Francis Nutako, so sorry. A lot of opportunities have come for the School of Performing Arts Fund because my time say nepa no went team ya Roverman be acting and yesika consistent so not they've entered banking or bank and now age will be like somewhere that's quite different from Adena Osia and to me more there the job opportunity as idea way abe create ama School of Performing Arts Fund has been my biggest excitement with all these things. And na George Quay come on akaka crowd because ya kai pa me kai say George Quay about National Theatre mo partnership no. I was thinking say proving who there was a certain role be a me I take it on as the drama company maybe grammar for or more director because na meaning say Uncle Mauli Semevo and away free mo. I don't know who was acting as the interim, but the first time Okasa about or knowing a partnership with National Theatre, he hinted something like, "Oh, we are going to try out that kind of thing to sort of to see because they already have an in-house production." He was talking about, but production, the partnership side, the corporate side, there money get loud, money get big, you know. That is the problem. I have worked with the National Theatre, my service and my attachment. I know the details of that side. And now that he has proven himself countless times, no, and then I'm not seeing George Quay being called the director of the National Drama Company of the National Theatre, Bibi Groma, and that was all part of the conversation just to excite us to come to the theatre because if it's about proving himself, I'm sure he has proven himself like enough to run one play 13 times and sell the place. For some coffee. It's not a joke. And to Patricia part of your command, so my young who what was really the deal? Oh my young who because I'm thinking per ejuma why if he's holding the National Theatre for 2 years, things will shake.
Minjidi say George baby or will be out here. Ti o anu ye bi onu de enche no send me message or person George my mental come phone so sia. Na me can change Secret. We dey why would you I think say one of the I think say second place I me question on National Theatre Secret in the me call.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sir.
I think so.
Let me do it. Do man me do it.
Udi me mfin. And I do
yeah, I owe you. I owe you the momo I got.
We want to say, and so we don't kai.
Me ti ha me say me home for mo be send momo. And a guy no Israel producer no jina or send me 1 CD.
Oh.
Just I am yama.
So at least your momo alert.
That's also not a form na yeti ntale so. Hey, kuya. Ti ya me do.
Also no sorry why.
Sorry what?
Also no sorry. Say also no there. On the phone bibram. So great. See, one of the I think semi second or first player me kwashe una ade me koya me kwashe, and I actually enjoyed it. It was really nice. My only fear was now man for you on phone twitwani ade and I'm like you know, but uko National Theatre also now she play now who say boldly actually who say no filming and allowed. But anyway, Yanji thoughts on this new one, George Mondibe.
Well, George George is a marketer. Well, that is one of the qualities I envy him for. Minyanka nenka me wasa qualities nibi. The marriage between Image Bureau and the National Theatre, and I think with the other National April's Communication is something that must be repeated with same structure no so mutimene other groups no so etimi enya that yene support no because National Theatre have resources no have quality personnel omo niema bebre other theatres nyina ehia. So once the system is there to have that engagement, and I think they should replicate it with other groups now. Or can be about ticketing. That is one area, a challenge. The price now, will form.
You think say ABI I was say almost regular near 200 and a VIP near 300. You think it should be more than that?
I think so. Our form kakra, our form. See, I no penny me fear.
I then now feel say what from because
the cost of production.
Nature. Yes, or admit it's a cost of production. It was true. I thought they become we play. They barely break even, but then they still invest and then go back in there. But also the fear of say we be raise price. I'm an akof shrua. Or man for ni be brain man. So my example be say be we had tickets so go turn 500 I just say ni only abusian for na got now go share plane so chemu kakra why you think say there was a price
me share near call into production the cost of the production na a sitting capacity of about 1,500 at most you can calculate it by let's say 300 times how many shows and on be no we are then factor in cost of publicity ni yeah easy when so nya dia it is a film e da ho a ochina obetimi akofa akoyi wo baabi nya wo ye na no e kana wo bo no I say mushroom e kana wo bo na no anu no wi a no asa enti what can we do? We should have more conversation in line in this direction, but I will be there. Also, I'm bekum ponko.
Mante mundi. Sa no kan.
Ponko pi.
Mo bekum ponko stage no so. Na ponko na ne bo no cry say.
Meti bibi ti so bekum ponko say.
Didn't hear that.
Ponko na do.
Did you hear that, Tilly?
Mante scenarios so can say amount for year no fake. Well, no year in the live.
Or no year in the live. That's what. Yeah. It be no person just or the ponko be stage live.
Or the ponko for no.
Or the ponko be stage. No ponko ne toilet group stage ni so.
Na see e be paper.
Why in the paper?
Stage hands. You see stage I don't get people coming to clean.
No more papa say stay the best stay ni ho.
best anywhere ye be pa enkwa na waving komo
oponko ebetimi ajane nan obetimi ajonso at the time na omo stage no nti mba cho say
obe be rehearsal 3 months when baby we don't do or see 3 months rehearsal ponko they will go for 3 months rehearsal they will train them.
Why you be training? Ghana ponko be higher training no.
Hey, then why you belittling George?
I'm not belittling. So madam host, if you can get George to give us this explanation because person me hu nia because so ho.
Mate.
Yeah.
Me ne be kasa wa hase.
Praise the Lord.
Well, it's here for Sanya Daddy Lumba Kaya, the Yabepe Sika, Sika, the form cry was a whoopee now fast. Sika since a real mark, quite crowd, but first one, but the action, dear Bepim, one who coaches can was so coaching. Ye Pesica to the day, Jumadini, a Ribe Pesca. Conversation be a course of social media, Hannah, and name, Pesa, the banner, ye bon, Komokaka. Yenny Musa, and Yum Tofu, Wagana, ha 80, and then Obia releasing your mom. Now we any promotion. I better so can say my song is available on all digital platforms. Go and stream and like. Go on YouTube. My video is there near the day. Chese neno do musicians do na abetia CSS say no. Ye releasing you ma. Ye fan to cassette so fan to CD so send yanka kane ye no na nanka ye tono. Si say no ye the two ye digital streaming platforms so Emma wo manfo no ko na oma kwa ye de oma kwa streaming. Now, when a year comedian or work room, how waji dinipa a year Lexi the comic, a day a year or no soon in same bisaka krebi ababe to social media. Mana babe yen komo kasiye pa. Na neno me pese yen su yedi hun komo kakra. Lexi busa se ade tina ene anyum to form jai CD ton amunton CD sibio. Ade. Ade na amunto CD snibio. I think you say abemu ebi a wono so ebonyo minim sa woko akra mola wo ye obi a wotai kwa akra mo pa obehu abranti e bitintin tuntun grama we twa nati kwase ka crochet space udu wa o say man please I'm a musician this my CD please take the CD and anything that you have you can give me. I mean why encounter that guy in there. Chese abrantie wono de wono no ye no nwum no de to see so na na mo no ton enti wo hia wa wo to me de ma wo wo de aginetie na wo so ma me kakra mfa nhya me ho na san komo we ye be pagya ye de ba ye Alexi the comic de yes ansem bi say ba ye say wo so on traffic mu na wo se boys bi ton CDs ni pen driver amanfo nyum guso na je so ma parity nyum no om de egu CD ni so no wo ton which no no ye na ye nim say ye kro no because uwia artist no eno nkoda nchen no wo chema wo say womu a womu di traffic mu na ya na womu de nyum no egugu CD so ton enkrofo park cars so to CD no enti we ne ebon eba ni team no busa na say adenti na ene anyum to form jai CD ton because enkrofo da so gina hoto CD ni pen drive yi kotie dia ene anyum to form say omusa go back to omu CD days na ombenye sikapa. Now, in a recent Facebook post, the comedian expressed surprise at the thriving business of music piracy after observing unauthorized vendors selling CDs and pen drives loaded with local songs in traffic. He noted that the several motorists are seen purchasing the pirated content. Or say, if people are out here selling musicians' songs on CDs and pen drives, and I just saw a few cars actually buying from one guy, then why aren't musicians themselves selling CDs anymore? He asked. He added that the dominance of streaming platform has not yet reached all sections of the public and insisted that physical formats still hold value. Charlie, not everyone understands the streaming thing, so others are cashing in big time. San Alexi Troy, now his post, has started a debate on the relevance of CDs in the Ghanaian music industry, especially at the time when piracy remains rampant and streaming royalties are still relatively low for many artists. Now, some industry players argue that CDs may no longer be trendy, but they are still a valid and potentially profitable distribution tool. Music producer and sound engineer Kewa had previously stated that physical copies of albums offer an intimate connection with fans and can be sold at events to create memorable experiences. Similarly, veteran musician Akosua Japan once noted that CDs, when properly branded, serve as a collector's item and contribute to the merchandise revenue. Enti san komo we ababe pagya ne ho e wo social media no so aye ni na ye bo ho komo na abrante na midi kan bo ni din ye friend 10 the oton CDs e wo akramo no in an interview our grant ye menu aba Dorinavio e wo eye hits show no so wo chema wo CDs no oton a busumi bia wanya kro to minya between 15 to 30,000 busumi bia CDs no na makramo no oton no busumi bia wotumi nya be 30,000 enti sisi no nkomo na baba ye say CDs no eda so wo value ana omanfo ni bebre na atremu say ena memre why na bo CD why na na ma okita CD Walkman. That's what people are saying. Ebi mu si ene wo mu asebi o mo cars na ye pia mo nko ye CD ye pia hyemu ye slide share desk no ma ne bono sisi omanfo ni bebre na sesa no akọ ye digital screens ya ye betu ka tape ni e di bia mekrama ye bi na the flat screen no aboho na chese no no uhia CD bia be connect to phone na chese wo bo nyum no from a streaming platform no direct. Industry players no so be say debi CDs no emfaso wo so sebio musicians no wo mu to me branding as wo mu ye ni ya say ebe ye collectible items chese o fan no otumi to imagine say ebia Black Sharif Iron Boy album ya we releasing na ye wo the CD wo ho na chese obi actor or the kind of collection or CD player wo to me bo any de keka. So now the question is that does the CD does it still hold value in this modern era of music distribution? Ne value pa and say ye ba be twetwe ho nkomo my palm for your crado sankomo we de emu betwe kakra Socrates ha say from the genesis for mra ye start a year CD Mr. Socrates de advocacy we ya amount for no bebre na so no enya dream, but he still stand by his words. That's the CD is our option of selling a year and distributing music, does it still hold value in this modern era of music distribution? Socrates.
Yes,
yes.
Okay. Nti say asem no funny yes so free. Is it something new? No. Ya can't say mu ya can. Yeah. Me pacho. I want you to guide me into this conversation because we repeat you sometimes it get boring and tiring. Yes. Na adi a minim ne say me mama no so kasape ye be trouble me.
Why you be trouble?
Oh, omo suffer na musicians no. E be trouble me. Then you have another segment of omo trouble no Gen Zs and I see a segment of the omo have a conversation omo ni experience bia in the whole thing. Omo be trouble me. And it's not about the message, but the messenger. The fact that it's not it's not about the message, but the messenger. Adia bakope ena maka me say your production ena your the market. So when you produce, you take it to the market. Markets, I want the dynamics. If the baby, and the baby drew baby. At every stage, challenge be wo na ebi aba solve. Intermediate me feel say there is still a residual market for CDs. That is what I've been saying every time. A residual market for CDs. Men can't say munyai streaming. I remember sa ehonu obia ante me kai the last time I have this conversation me kai na yenu akwesi abo ageneti adwam all can nia me kai no o se me say ma yen san enkonkoton CDs me say yen san enkonkoton se e ma tili na eboa me e kire mu said no me say CD no nso ka ho nti me enyae streaming ye no na emo yemfa CD market ne nso enka ho menua this is all me tie Lexi the comic Lexi obi a oye mini papa san komo we onya education no ena ono nso tie ase eni ya havia no de we ntie futu eno di to see mu eba public biem ena akusan akwa twetwen sanse mu ya ba mabeya ambassador obi a twimi
Why not your ambassador or the ambassador for a compact disc and ambassador for the
me a cake intermediate me say yen sign konko CD biom but the American say CD market no ho yen sign fan ka ho na ebe expanded the market for the music industry because yes among for air to and no na me say Lexi ehun ya o bisa on question say na musicians are mo jai CDs ni twei among for so to so what didn't I must say ye etwem inti mo jai mati argument ni bebre inti no I don't know if you will help me to take it through it by asking the questions and let's answer.
I think say a lot of people were more concerned this CD conversation who say and then the world is evolving. Ye call your name Sabio and then ye shada CD first near Walkman.
Yeah.
A CD player. A lot of cars, send Amidi Kanka or introduction of the topic. You say a lot of cars are now more CD slots, you know. Most of them are changing it to this modern ones, which doesn't have the CD way. And now call man for Mufia. You don't get the typical DVD CD shemo abashi. So if musicians are now spending money, say a betra CDs and so I can wanna say ne tono enkon kanya because omo ka some ton CD omo ton pen drive with pen drive you say even in your PC in your car you can put it and all of that. So the argument is that things are changing and the world is evolving. Until consuming CDs and what to say can
Okay. In the first place no who is talking nia all can say CD ni etono eni hono in the first place no share nia all kana onto CD ono onto bi nti odo ono ne ho na kasa but I can assure you say there are a whole lot of the country now omoto still as we speak they still buy CDs. Memeka, I repeat, in this CD player. But that doesn't mean say my wife car CD player in him. My wife car CD player wom or to CDs or no gospels no kwano bo ube kono egumu or to. Omo de ba sorry ni nema otobi. Inti no oto. Inti no mo ka say cars na eba no. Nia eya me nwanwa ne say aso oma dwen hu say a new cars na eba na CD ni mo. But there are a whole lot of cars bebre millions ewo kwan so a still a CD player wom. Enti wo dwen a wo tu obi fo a wo ka che say oh cars a eba na CD player ni mo no. Adenti na dwen no enko the other angle no ema wo hu say bebre wo hode da ewo system no ma CD players wom. Enti no yennyai omo na yenhwe kakra na eba na. That is the question I want to ask.
Okay.
Because I am controlling myself. Send your bear words be how I mean you. But me tea argument ni bisa me feel say I didn't see baby. What am I say? Omo only obi kasa this argument na. Ubo say ne adena lucky wo baby and call the other sector. To send you obi ti make say oh ka say ba say no see this in no. Me bisa me who say na wo se cars eba say CD nim no unwin hu say cars ni bebre e wo ho CDs wom na ebo no wo hwe kakra na eba say nkete na eba no wo se CD nim no bebre e wo ho de CD wom and if you are a businessman no open marketer are you chasing kakra na eba mu say no abandon bebre na wo ho de da na unhu say yes bebre na wo ho no serve them but also think about nia eba na ebi nimu no nso.
Okay, so okay, mami kwa
what masi wo ho.
Metewase.
Okay.
Mami kwa humane so na meni George Britton or a talent manager founder of Revolve Plus. And Chichi San Komo when he being a stakeholder in this industry, I'm sure he has one or two to say. George, utame kai ma kwa about entertainment review so.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, George. Utame me pa chonya me adome ho ye na so e.
Na adome mo ya para.
Okay.
Okay.
George, and come on, yeah, boy, and it's I think so. This conversation has been around for a while, but and then I saw a unity bill say Ebusa say, and they with a kind of modern era of music consumption, I way that's a yeah CD. Ah, yes, CD and kakani ni na ye to aye de share your disc player or whatever means I would bo CD no. Does it still hold value in this modern era of music distribution?
That's still value. Yes, it does value. I think it's value, but the only thing is the growth process, and I be still because I mean, from the UK point of view, about the growth now, it has not grown over the past 2 years. Let me put it that way. I think what is actually growing in the last 5 years is vinyl. On see the Kesena to and pay for
vinyl players. No?
Yes, and no more sales than the CDs. And the reason why I know I couldn't need money here because BBA record labels on the account are more physical copy sales now. As you say, there's more releasing them now. Or more yes, I do intentionally count. And to CD sales now, I will hope, but it is not in your face like it used to be before. And what check it when now in the last 2 years last 5 years the growth is very minimal. But yes, the CD is still there. Vanya, I know America said the growth has been very, huge for the last 10 years. Semi Kaya, I think I missed a note earlier. In the last 10 years, the Vanya has improved, over 650% from 19.4 million pound sale to 145.7 million pound sales of Vanya and Nkwaso in the last 10 years. So, in the case of a CD, it is not growing as much as that.
Okay, but George, just to chip in so that we shape the conversation. This vinyl, okay, let's situate it in Ghana. Say, how many people have these vinyl players? Nipa Dodo say. In fact, even with the commercial entities no kra omumududu saying was our vinyl players na ebetumi aka say bia vinyl no yes looking at the growth and the statistics now amano e bia economy but ye de ba yen ye bibremu ha do we think we can make that money off it and access our growth na ye hu no elsewhere no ebetumi abemu ha looking at ye markets ye nkrofo any gadgets used to consume music.
Unfortunately, there be in a sense that it's a secret. I think we're separated there. This is the first time I'm actually secretive about this. I think a year or 2 or 3 years ago, I was on the same panel with him. He brought this up. No, Vanya only did me a show in Ghana. You can't be selling 100,000 copies in Ghana. Reason being that the number of people are more players in the bill. Have very few. And to make like I said, for money in the idea. But like I said, and yet as high as on the stream anywhere. Again, let's go back to the CDs. Well, maybe someone say to say that now, I mean the new cars, the new consumers of music. What is the easiest way for them to consume music? Which I know, so we all know that the streaming platforms, right? CD sales. How do people consume through CDs? You say, first of all, let's go back to the record labels. I mean, the record labels in Ghana is the physical copy, which is a CD. Idea, say, me releasing you and I'm sure, say, you will get probably 2 people to answer out of 10 to say yes, it can be. What you say? I mean, from up north to down south in Ghana. I mean, you're sure, so it will be at least be a promo. The way become a beer, a band album. I think people might consider that, but a bad single promotion I have not come across Bibisa in a very long time.
Okay, all right. Ain't not just a usha when it we the buy ye be brimu hadia and shadamwa.
Yes, I think okay, your home moment CD sales, should be able to pick up more. Reason being that also the internet penetration of Ghana a bit lower. What I say. So if we could get the physical copies done, then sir, you can spread the songs across the country. I remember somewhere in 2005, now the time I was going to Shanson Blackson. So artists near promo area, started distribution from all the way to Water region. What you say? And because these people, the easiest way of accessing music was through the CDs. What you say? But and then you still ask yourself, so you might be brave. Yes, I mean, my last promotion I'm here, which was Sugarcane. We heavily promoted the song via streaming platform, and again, we also did it through mainly radio not in Accra. Radio consumption in Accra has dropped significantly for the past 5 years. Let me say that. But elsewhere, in the three northern regions, in the Brohafo region, in the western region, and even in the Ashanti region, they are very heavy on radio. And see, these are the same consumers we should be able to say, okay, or would say radio, and that's more areas, if they have the players, they would like to buy the CDs. What should I say? But unfortunately, I don't know whether people still have the players to play CDs. If they do, I'm sure they will buy more because, I mean, you could see that people are still selling CDs. But as to say, musicians, do we even consider that? Mm-hmm. That is what the problem is. I think if you consider and market it well, people will buy it. Because, I'm not being able to come up with figures because I have not really done my search to see, okay, me Costa Bogo, so the BNE, Sunyania, or more Mutinyon, be Brina, with your more CDs. What I say, or CD player, I see. Me finding a way of making the United a good CD. So, I mean, let's go back to even radio promotion. First, me buy the CD and the pen drive, and I say, me send it by email. And see, all this has contributed to the downfall in our market, for the CD sales. I know just again tone CDs, a bit more top, but level no neither I cut down.
Not just as you say, one more tone CDs, Sikana come on botomo musicians no munya so fasobia.
Yes, because I mean I'm in Kofa, even Jolo traffic light, you see a lot of people are motor CDs. Why compilation auto? But why compilation and auto? Obeka Koreana, Sa Kode Shatawale Kamido, take for Sobian Moso. Auto Scanebaneho, because even the artist record doesn't see the value of the CD. So I think that we'll have to go back to ask ourselves questions, sir. Okay, should we go back and factor this in the marketing, especially in Ghana? Internet penetration here low. If it's a new release here, it will be very difficult for you to get your 5 million or 1 million or 2 million if you are heavily depending on Ghana market. Because we bring any access to your Spotify and your kind of saying Apple Music now. And see, I said the people are going to boom play. And I said procurement. And you can buy here and then access. What I say. So your demographic name who say internet penetration is lower. Let's then go back to the cities. Again, cities how are people going to buy the cities? We have to find out from the other regions. So they make an say. During my promotion with Cabido Sugarcane, promotion I started from Tamale. And starting from Tamale, we were doing heavy radio because you realize that when we started radio in Accra, it wasn't picking up. But outside Accra, it had some sort of attention, i.e. fast. What do you say? So that means that these people there, they are not heavy on digital. So if they're not heavy on digital, there should be another way or another platform they consume music. And we have to do the search to know that, okay, a better than CD. And to see how do we as producers or as makers of the content and how do we also come back and say okay, me chat CD 1,000 because now same one it started here Juma serious I'm saying so a million streams in Ghana I said $300 the margin call secret statement or make it years back because I think You were saying. I didn't know. Yeah, you were saying. You were saying. Oh, sorry.
George, it's you.
Sorry. And so I can still remind you what Socrates was saying about paper copies. You make more money. Of course, true. And we're making more money then because Mekai said first we try your man. We'll be working on Mazoba Betonio. No, you can see why they were torn. But I see any of them. What they say, no releasing you, you have to find a way, get TikTokers, get these people to dance, do content to their song before you start making money. But after 1 million streams, how much you even make? What is it? So it will be advisable to bring back the CD sales.
All right.
Yeah. But again, we also have to ask ourselves question. One, no, what is the truth in it? Say sales 20,000. What is the truth in this? I mean, everybody can come out and say anything. Can he prove that yes, I sell 20,000 in a month? Then we'll go back to him and learn his ways.
Okay.
What I say? Yeah.
Okay. George, you better see Bebre. Only opinions here. What the boy and come here. That's Bebre. George Britton, a year talent manager, a founder of Revolve Plus. So great. Say not where we own. Yaw.
Yawo.
Nyame adom.
Okay. First of all, no says see Ghana comedy no. In fact, one of the industries it grew exponentially. I think say Uncle Socrates crack counter it grew because na GTA. They be so now more support. So now they cry will be ne legs them call SNA I think America until grew to the sense they see idea. So my footwear so which is a good thing because yes Ghana music there you hear but them person busa bibi say set it no say na comedy no say no some ton see this ana oh your specials no ton see this we social comedy say we so to see this one cover venue now me special no ton see this I say sini oh me general view me ka Ghana no me ka
Debbie, you can't Ghana.
Oh, me statement a general view.
Debbie, don't talk general. We are talking Ghana.
Oh, Debbie, say
Debbie.
So allow him make his points.
CD sales nieka. Plus, say I think say CD sales no. And also a money making venture some comedians. Was this your some special? Say obi here in special or here in the balcony. Sasa, I call ton CDs and comedians can be brave from. Into a very nice idea, but I think issue na simple. About value because young fan say tetinana ye ton CDs mentia say we are calling for CDs but bianca cassette once say cassette so then is a revenue making a mode of making sales anameba but obianca cassette because cassette is obsolete any machines are bebo cassette and era na ye woman no in as much as Ghana ye we chide kakra no yen ka no kre CDs no Coffee bring use. And I see the try and that form. And in fact, to try see the new year, so will or after also. No, I sign inlay. Now, Sunday, I shake case. Oton cry here, I been. And once I own 50 CDs cry. Imagine, say, Ube here distributors. Distributor budget, dear. Inlay, dear budget, dear. See the right budget, dear. At Semper and the bit my yard doing. And I think say you compare it to more traffic mon. MC so be can no cry. Me sure say in recent times what artists BCD. Ana. But say I na mbusa mo because me sure so what artists BCD.
Me mom dey me to be.
Ana mo time to traffic mon no. Into mo turn a compilation. Baby no because the compilation and say oh yeah to nipa ba ku CD but me kaya papa ka mo na papa oh series bebre ni na ya artist ba ku album na wa match de oh Bob Marley de oh Don Mion de but in recent times me hu obi a wakoso to sako de CD oko mo to na say a gospel compilation bi na say a high life compilation no de anokra numbers no o check here and also sa the back no pirate no turn traffic mo no Eyamuka say yesika. Yes, yesika o. But so compare ska o make was our traffic ni ma. untimi found to a kana artist never born to create that same piece of beton because artist not mean on longer than mean traffic moon cotton in there so it's opobi no tianica boss imagine say sakode in traffic moon no ton cd o de yan share headlines be untimi in traffic moon e so opel boys and our sales people or mo beton size ni na ayeka and I looking at the sikabe making now counterproductive and untina artists bebre no and commercialize CD sales what I say and men can say CD sales and possible Ghana very possible but the truth is before I beton CDs no so money cool enough for the young ones some better countries say what CD culture no more of number 4 was CDs in time I am colon so beto CD and say na for na omonam no omo to CDs into who CDs ni bia and ma look cool but every ye wo audio mark ye wo Spotify ni na ye free and as well download all phones in fact we download there nyum bia pe bia timiti once I was on kwande into making it very difficult say about to CD and untina money look feasible away in this no especially here because me come chrome crash say CD player amponio ada so mutie radio and no mutie audio mark maybe the first place I me kote Black Sheriff poverty na me crash boys na no mo bo audio mark no monam kronim ana monam kronim inti so wo competition say encourage you say kone kutwa CDs but even siniftra for the cry now I'm cry highly CD driven the cry I'm cry so I'm call the guitar na nyame am drop singles what you say into going back there I think at this moment there a be bad but me issue the way Lexi man feel it to say artists no put in for somebody to see this you see you cannot cry more than the bereaved untimi soon change back na no because can ye can in artist no esi kasem ne ye so into so no feel say CD sales no en face can buy menti ase aye so chen no because ideally no credit nyame anim ne ye can no credit the ba for ma CD sales entimi in as much as a raw cash e ba won same directly no ye entimi in turn in a commercial way aye can no the best abeton CD there say akode with Mary album no or pockets of event like oh concert now our stock no turn the merchandise but so so your commercial value using me from family era for culture yenko stone go to CD
me pa cho quick one enti o era for mo pe no mo Ghana market no o era na o ka no Ghana market no is it only made up of your era?
Oh, say audio scabeshe baby man say who make it now from it.
Me say who era now.
Me era yeah also. Percentage of citizens.
Where did you do the your friend is saying that's research?
It's me shake statistics. Say
yes.
Say youth Ghana mainly dominated by youth.
Okay, yes.
And I mean me a youth.
Enti who can ya wunim?
Me youth for no.
Good. Enti ebinim wo ha omo ye above your era.
Oh, send there your more era.
No asem mo kan for baby wa bra memetia. Yeah. There be na mo kan betwafo asem memetia na metwa be. Mo kan betwafo asem o. Yeah. Abetwafo asem na mo kan. Ana me memetwa be se a. Ana mo ni tomato salad kasa. There be o. Onu ton selfo. I don't
know, just bring it in the context of what we are discussing because what do you mean? Do you mean say we producing your no producing your man? I said what do you mean?
Because I me ton CDs. Me person me chose me a CD seller. Me person me chose me a CD seller. Enti sadia me bra NY kase. You to me ton CD on high commercial level no. And me hwe na name na me ni ya dwumes here for no to me konya sa mathematics no. Yai, mama mouth to boss. Mama background kakra. Na your cassette era. What I say? Your cassette era from 1992, 93, 95, 96, 97. Now the your era of cassette business. Enti u check here, Francis said, God, you are so good, no. Na cassette era and an was. Enti a good cassette, no. a new model of CD business buy distribution buy, and it came in the form of a year your friend say CD. Now CD nearby no. Now that time when I CD buy no, you manage CD and cassette no to the early part of 2000 to 98 to running through 2000. You manage hodu CD and cassette to this part. Why? Because one more na to CD it is a one near workshop or cantonment no and until I give no a jebodi despite mu na no UTC no ye nkofo na ebe 2 CDs edeko villages kokoton. We had a number of people still are no patronize cassettes because obi wo ho or no ordinary 4 batteries and we ye adwuma or ye kwa adwuma or central region ho baby into the 4 batteries or turn the battery guma ever ready battery or turn the guma or the tape kit one the sine kwa ho or the question foam eti or no enjoy the cassette on you ready. And then you who say afi no new mod equipment in there no it's accepting CDs. Enti ene ya 12 na CD business no ebeyam etibem. Na mistake here ne say your transit music travel to digital sales in terms of mo Spotify no mo Boomplay mo kan wasaba mo kofa buy no. Mistake ya ne say ye ntumi am manage no said ye manage cassette era no to CD era no. Ye try say be hold 2/4 no kakra compim some stage ya cassette. Even to today there are some people still more opportunity they will still buy the cassette. There are still people who want to buy the cassette. Yentime manages her era ni ye be too solely depend upon say enwa money nim for Sadiq Muna Dade Baba Sadiq Muna Dade omo convince say no platform now about the new platform will give musicians more money. They'll give, and I remember very well, Baba Sadiq was one very instrumental person. The new era of music distribution ban. He championed the cause. Every musician, say you make it because you understand or try say you streams. Ya me no say Boomplay for the past 4 years has distributed a number of almost about 98% of Ghanaian musicians CD. Boomplay 4 years now. They have run away from this country with all the money and everything. To today, they haven't paid anybody. And I haven't seen anyone, all this Baba Sadiq Mu. I haven't seen none of them coming to even fight on the behalf of musicians, asking them how musicians can get their money. And if there's a hope, and somebody has even made a statement of how our benefiting from CD sales are. I'm expecting all of you to actually even join the conversation and see how we can address for the trend to come back when there's hope. Because Boomplay na mo advertise ye mo so ka say yen nyina musicians okay yen for your CD enum koguo na Boomplay be ma yesika ye be $20 million and $10 million no. That company has duped musicians in Ghana. They dupe all of us, run away with all of us our money. Go and check. 4 years now they haven't paid anybody anything. And this is a company. Our mobile office, about promise having a net for to distribute musicians their work. And these are things that we need to look at this. Sadia na Boomplay, abaya krono wa mudi esika na adwane free o man Ghana. And on offices na o shutting it down. The same way na maybe say so ochna if Spotify decide to run away, where is the musicians no? Digital streaming na mo kan wasa, where are we going to pass? Let's take it tomorrow. Spotify decide to run away like the way Boomplay and so no. Where are we going to get our money? So it is important for us to have a new way. I able to me and who say if it is feasible for us to reintroduce the selling of CDs, it's very very good. Okay, let us give the support for everybody to be part of it.
But Senya Woka say, hello, what mean? Still won't say. Senya Woka say, I feel you. Okay, Senya Woka say, maybe ana CD ni jina na so brania na muton the likes of Baba Sadiq mo any other colleagues never convince mo say was some migrating from CD selling no eco digital platforms no so no. Was it not also because said na gadgets are na eba you bet to me use it as people now it didn't have that CD compartment would be bought sa CD, you know, because abofofo na omo ye gadget na ma ye na ye play music ni ade no, they were not producing that anymore.
Yeah, as at in them no come was me. I was in Canada last year me call Canada, and I went to a shop to go and buy your cotonium. I went in Canada and they are still selling CDs in Canada. Yeah. I said, my obisa na me you anu no. Me kwa Canada last year. I said na me 2024. I was in Canada summertime. Ye kwa shops ye kwa koto a dress 1 or 2. Eduani be kakra bebedi. And I went to the shop and I was surprised. Say, Oma na omo promise say ye move away from CD nianko streaming no. Me see Tilly, there was a whole unit like this. I almost sell almost ton live CDs. Almost ton CDs at $15. It be a $15. It be a $10, it be a $20, depend upon pedigree of artists. What I say? I want to car ni ho. I hear from the air cars fiba. Cars ni ye free amon on neighbor. Me say, me say me call South Africa. Go to South Africa. South Africa. Go to Kempton Town. And I say Johannesburg. One of their biggest mall ne hormono. Go and see there say and na me no ka say open suma delegates suma salamat non ko South Africa chana. They are selling Udo. My father, this simple ticket, business class masala, Uncle South Africa chana. No uncle off with 2 cameramen, no uncle Chamach Ghana for say South Africa, South Africa, they are still selling CDs. Today, musicians be producing Yumbiano, Yaton, CDs. Go to Kenya. Their biggest shop, they sell CDs. Go to New York, they are still selling CDs in New York as of today. As a name, no say, Michael Jackson Kwakwa Samarado, yes, the whole distributing the CDs, New York. Oba do Ghana Hanma, yes, see your chrome had him there, yet you see this. No. It was a cartel of individuals who were marketers to some of these distributing agencies in Ghana. Anna, Omo came up with a proper marketing concept to cut away, to destabilize our mindset on the aspect of CD selling. It was a few individuals, Anna, were doing proper marketing. They were actually frontliners of some of these distributors companies. Anna, it came up with a proper marketing concept. Anna, they did a very good job, and I must commend them. They did a very good job. You know the job they did? They tried as much as possible to convince all the music stakeholders in Ghana say distribution, online distribution is the issue. And to be a ultra CD piano, don't even venture into it. And then a picking musicians no, and a musicians ne picky the concept up. And then musicians na kasabe catch was say one of the reasons why we don't have music people, business financiers putting money into music is as a result of the collapse of this CD sales. It is one of the reasons why we don't have people, financiers are able to do music in the music business anymore. Because when people put their money into music, they don't know where they can get the money back. Only musician be a kasana bisan say, if I put $100,000 into Salamat Painter as an artist, $100,000 anymore. Tell me where I'm going to get the money from. The first thing he will tell you is digital streams. Number 2, performance. Now, trust me, for musicians now, some musicians no catch on. When an entrance non control say where he's going to get the money back. I'm telling you, top musician to Chroma, the whole 3 months. Obakon stream is car when you're in $600.
See, because it's $300. Sassidi, ya de babaka. Senya ene wohoya, omo traffic, momu ton CDs. The monies do not go to the musicians.
Enter make a choice.
And come musicians ni buto me patro me ba me busa question na
watch a brantem.
Yenya saasi kanin revenue no and come musicians ni buto. It is say ya kasa musician be release single no. Senia omu release ene omu de to omu digital platforms ni ade mo fan to obioma na omu fan to CD so no mo how does the who say who can now educate the public know? How are the musicians going to make money off selling?
Thank you.
CD?
what be a very good question. Yeah, no wonder and they wish a white suit because you are asking very good questions. Yeah, the crowd honest.
I just said if you are questioning Musale.
Yeah, no, yeah, no crowd honest say. Young can no crowd. Me dey come a preamble and I make a choice say. Time I not see this ebano. There was something called cassette. Ebra see the ban. We tried as distributors and marketers. You manage the era of cassette and CD very well to the point say we were actually selling both and making revenue. And I'm the same way and I make her say yeah mistake yeah and say and which will be fooled too appreciate and say we should have actually managed the CD as well as online distribution. No? At the same time, the say that you manage CD and cassette era. No? That was the mistake we did as stakeholders and as people in the music business. We should have been able to manage the CD and your friend said the digital streams. No, we should have been able to manage it. Said you manage YouTube, you manage online. No, because and the crowd say yaw. What do you call to YouTube? YouTube, your YouTube video and your sounds were YouTube audio. Still the two of them is able to give you revenue. But Titano obi the name to YouTube. The person doesn't even do YouTube audio. What I say? But YouTube for crowd when say. So obi the name to YouTube. And you know there to YouTube. YouTube for crowd say. Your sounds were YouTube audio. I bet to do the same and you know the video at two and make revenue. You bet to so the name the same audio no add to audio on YouTube, which can also yield you revenue. It had done a young soon come up with a system to be able to manage both CD distribution as well as the physical, the digital distribution of the songs. Because I want to hear fairly. It's me tell me, and can come away by no. Now me expect to say, and can N1, and then the wife has for now come together. Nanka one more push this agenda say there was a mistake. So what I say. What I said, let me person can one and what fast phone in Ajitum say there was a mistake somewhere along the line. It can then come away and commit now the as support to conversation say let us see how we can manage online distribution in terms of the digital distribution plus the physical sale of the CDs. No, you're encouraging musicians no, so that they can come back to the winning ways and make money. Say the buyer until papa we make 30,000 Ghana cedis now come wasam no. Sanka uko online, nanka online so we're winning another $1,000. Like you have been almost about 45,000 Ghana cedis rich. And I make a tron say it is possible. But yenya prophets be prophets be yenya preachers be they were working for some of these digital online companies. They were their marketers. Into a brand era of online winibanu. They were actually frontlining some of them and pushing for the agenda and then killing CDs. You see what happened? A cartel. It was a cartel that happened.
Okay.
Within the transition of CD to online. No?
All right.
It is now, if we won't say they're not in Nwakasa, he's a prophet. He's a prophet to the digital infrastructure.
Okay.
It is now, you see the way he all catcher say, and you're possible to sell CDs. Why? Yeah, one the catcher.
All right. NY stop so responding. Yeah,
Uber marketer, you to turn artists a day. You to turn artists a box of CD. It contains 1,000 pieces. 1,000 pieces. If you even say one for 5 Ghana CDs, multiply by 1,000.
Okay.
Lumber CDs on the market was almost 12 Ghana CDs. Oko Agri shop or Cantomantua. Now 12 CDs on.
Those shops in there. That's what. Okay.
N1. The shops are out there. Kumasi Room 1, Kwame FM, almost shops in Ejebodimu shops in Anu. These are all there. But because we had prophets and prophetess who were agents of some of these online distributor agents. They were working for them and killed their own traditional CD sale business.
Mami read the
at
comments.
The expense of us.
Mami read the comments.
Reading a brand.
Wait for Bandex. So Bandex say, yeah, tell Socrates to upgrade himself and stop promoting CD sales in Ghana. Even those selling pirated CDs in traffic are struggling. Go to Cantamanto, where Socrates and I used to sell our CDs. CD sales in Ghana is a no-go area. Where Bandex.
Catch up what for Bandex say you to me preaching and my CD sales no kwa juma. Juma. He will come back to Accra New Town and open a shop. We want him to come back to New Town. I want Bandex to come back to Accra New Town and open a shop so he can go back and sign Ampon, Isaac and C. He can go back and sign all of them back because those musicians, one more than who will fear, they have very good songs and they are looking for somebody to finance them.
Na si say kwasi adia wuki
they are looking for someone to finance them. We need to go back. Kwasi Uncle Banners can sign more artists. What I say? Maybe CDs crowd banners distributed and up to today he hasn't even accounted for them. Okay. But I know that the CDs are still
NY who the answer no na
SME addresses
and NY address it. And if you want to speak to me directly.
I'm speaking to you directly.
Okay, all right.
Because platform is me sure say me can say any possible see intimi ton see. Oh, in fact,
who say?
Mame land.
Me ba cho mani wie.
Oh, man can say any possible, but in fact,
Salama mi so na so dey asama ba.
Me making statements no. Me even my solutions. Because me can say be say CD sales say money looking cool and your first one.
Yes.
Secondly me can say artist na me say artist here shows on betime out almost dem me can here near commercially no the scale na muton CDs no at this moment in time no with the infrastructures name no and yet possible and even no can say that but statements are we make it say akra e affirm dem me can say at this moment in time no structures na what structures is here no and ntimi nya CD source commercially the next time mo ye no plus what they say sikeni break kakra e ka ho ana ma transition from internet ni
e dey sikeni break san me kan me ba me ka so bi do bi akwaje skadro
dey so say baba Sadiq ba ye no o ka say obenya skapudo mo benya skapudo ni ntimuti sika no mo forget CD na
na ya which is car so dabi ya wo say what one me say me catch us say we t-shirt dabi we t-shirt here to me catch us say t-shirt we ya fabra ya ton e benya 10,000 na mama singlet asha unroma
etini na eba fresh no muju so mu na muso mu kuntan what you say no kray ya ba ko pe I think that banders can they make part chene say value for money ni nyo in fact na ka CD sales booming industry chroma enya artist na be pre CD sales distributors na be ba distributor na ba be CD sales obeka no kre na distributors
they ya no hunim de me ya ade ya me ya wo mpa ne say womo a ade ya ade no man ye nke betima benefit o mokra no they are actually sending messages and saying it's not possible.
Bandex say I used to duplicate CDs and I was the first person to duplicate colored CDs for commercial quantities and I still have the machines.
It is our machines none here can was some say per se ya.
Na CD
Bandex no can any plan say. CD machines good dem no. Ye tia no ye preach class machines no. Ye preach na can summer back na ko on farm. Who machines good dem. Accra Sounds no go check it. They have a whole digital machines.
Kwasi nyamboche sisi adia wo kasi ye commercial kwasi mama nkasa adia wo kasi ye ne commercial ya wo advocate say ye samfa CD no nko commercial base no adia machine ye de bebo CD no
obi se dem
na wo se wo ton ti imagine say wo fa ni 100 or no say wo se wo fa ni 100 now let's take it on the street ye mfa nko se commercial say yes ye twa CD aton me pa cho
ni Paris na
mo CD aton now wo fa ni 100 wo lori kwan wa ni emududu osan na wo CD players wo kwa ko
Paris why no mo ton mo
asema okay
Paris na gu kwan wa mo ton ama hwan
me say makacho dada say asama ye kano I don't know what asama ye kano I don't know whether you are listening are you listening me person mami 1 minute sima ba ko pe na tie me enkomo wo no say enkofo na there are people who have now taken advantage of our ignorance and they are actually selling CDs on the market me no ka say nei ewie ya wa sha white suit opa mayenko sorry besi ne yenko ashama market obedu ashama market no obehunu say enkrofo gu ho ma boys ni gina traffic light ma wo muton CDs besi na me fa nko Fiesta Royal Hotel Jowulu traffic light na se sesi a me no ka say boys ni kita CDs musician CDs wo muton wo drive car na odu wa unu say enkrofo etobi uwi a mayenko ministries Odu ministry sisi a. Gawo for no mabegu krom hanom no. Wo ma twa nkrofo CDs and egu wo mo bags m and wo mo nam ministries and wo mo ton CDs no e de ma krachefo. Sa krachefo na eto sell the CDs no. Ya kacha me say bisa mama bisa ehefo na oyo mo bo nwom no. Dabio ya enwom no omo de share for na ebo. Piece of him high at your machine yes one me.
The most first
you buy interview.
And first and then
machine near the bono. Father the accounting office also.
Oh no, catch us.
Father the machine near the boss no. Father the corner office. Say and say decide say you were per se the revive and bar. There's a likelihood I bet to me father akasa sa CD play machine father the beba.
Argument now we you. Me to ask you.
You man 24 hours over to make DH the beba.
Argument now you me to I'm not disputing the fact to say CD players ne bi that's all. Senior band crackers and CD player that's all. But en quantity be an until no use CD workman. Tie. Si say ye person CD ni ye turn commercial ya senior ya kano we have to market it to the extent say be kuma and the generation obi abegia to my beto ye be use which pacho nyabotre these are questions that listeners are asking.
Okay, all right.
Sisiano.
All right. Me nyabotre ho. All right.
Because me read data be atremo ha. Maybe you will even go to buttress your point.
Okay.
But me person me busa say no man for omutie ye ka say no. Who can say nkofo da so say how many people na wo CD players and ye no commercial la me ya ye boa e bia me koto CD a. Sibi say mini CD player bia wo me fie. Me ni bi nso e wo eye me car mu. And me, for instance, Mikoto Sidia is useless to me. Mean to me, you so soon as there are other hundreds and thousands people like me who don't have a gadget to enable them to get value for the money normal investing in CD.
But there are also millions. I didn't know. Make us see a green half.
Yeah, Mickey Dallas, me can't say. Yeah, Mickey Dallas, me can't say. Machine is here, a boss CD, a lupu to say pepe. It's never true. Says machines there or the boss CD.
Well, according to a data, Yebusa say, has the CD sales in the world increased? My microphone no ever on me pamacho. Has the CD sales in the world increased or dropped as compared to Socrates? Me say microphone on me shower. Has the CD sales in the world increased or dropped as compared to digital platform? This is it. Yes, CDs have seen a slight resurgence, outselling digital downloads by a ratio of 3-1, with 17 million units sold and 236 million in revenue generated in the first half of 2024. Me pacho mutie. CDs sales. Mutie. CDs have seen a slight resurgence, outselling digital downloads by a ratio of 3-1. With 17 million units sold and 236 million in revenue generated in the first half of 2024. This represents a 3.3% growth in CD sales. Comparison to digital platform, despite the growth, digital streaming remains the dominant form of music consumption. In 2001, paid subscription accounted for 57.2% of revenue, making it $8.6 billion, while ad-supported streaming generated $1.8 billion in contracts. With this information, no.
CD. CD. 10 CD.
Me pacho mama yema tiling kasa. Pasi wakasa. Tili. Medu mu microphone. Tili for microphone. We will come back to you, Yao. Let me say Yao. Ernest, we will come back. Please, let Tilly speak.
There's a research, sir.
For microphone, no.
It's 70% reduced. I
can't talk. Okay, come on, we must start here free. I say. So Lexi the comic made a post. I'm not saying the pirate guy sees a CD market. The pirate guy sees a CD market, so he's selling. But the musician says there's no CD market. and in common way and free baby and me assure say probably home we be or make it our post no. Because if you tell me say there's no market for CD and I see somebody who wakes up every day and is selling CD, so who are they selling to? And why and air to? Now one more tono. How are they listening to it? Now come on, I won't even limit it to just CDs. In fact, pen drive for and I know somebody in my house called my father who sells or Toby. Kaneshia we ya wo be brain. Now NY Katanoka say you won't get one artist song yeah. Now a compilation of other people's song. But that is monia and co artist neho. Co obia or parity bibio. And if you want to talk about the commercial part, he has found a way to commercialize your business. You think it cannot be commercialized on that level. Thank you. But did you at your expense? Then I will share at your expense. Now, in common Alexi Pejawan, I understand what you are saying, but your shade at him too was inappropriate because you are saying, say, or comedians, why don't they switch or sell into series? You know, so creative. Ghana, if we look at the transition,
studio,
the transition of CD music, there was your friend says our box one now kind of the edition muno. There is a box now. Piamonko and sana ebia CD buy and sana way. When you look at comedy, the meaning kind of a stage, and now comedy Sunya is because of the stage they have done. So if it's about preservation of what is done now, comedians have preserved it.
Thank you.
Because their audience was built on live audience and they have maintained that, and now they are even introducing which and the class of discussion say mom introduces our party because some our audience now a bit brown with the no. And for you to jab them and maybe for you to jab the comedian who has seen something that is happening, has seen a certain loophole, has seen a certain amount for exploiting at the expense of musician or canon. I don't think he should have been crucified. I don't think so. Now, in common, Nina besi siatra ewo Ghana for home, and it's even happening now on our social media. Bibia bar, we don't look at the pros and cons, we just jump on it. Siatra, because Okachame said there are shops in SA, New York, which are selling CDs. I'm a vinyl, Crampo is Sparta. A bunny said a momo country, ha. Mutimika say, yeah, dear, we are anti-CDs. Now, hold on. You are saying,
me pacho, you need to be a canon craft for.
Whatever. Sorry. Now, there's this part of the conversation I think that we are overlooking. There was a time a lot of people were not using smartphones. How were they listening to music, and how were they able to transition from that part until now we are able to stream Apple Music? It was a gradual process. So I guess it was a time when on some phone be says go phone be and no what media streaming what me be and now we see the streaming apps coming together to come and say, oh, download Spotify, download this DMX Baha. Download this. It is all part of the ways of telling you that this is the way you can listen to music. So how come we can't do that for CD players? If somebody wants to invest in CD players in Ghana and they want to add a marketing plan to make it cool, as he's saying, I'm telling you, in the next 10 years, CD will come back again because they have imported and invested in CD players that the young ones almost nobody see the next shame because it's the new thing, and Bandex will start duplicating his things again. His business is back. So it's not like it cannot be done. Now, if you tell me that streaming platforms, if you are saying that streaming platforms is giving 80% of the revenue and CD is not is 20 or is 10 or is 5 in par. 95%, 100% is more than 95%. Mm-hmm. So why are you cutting away that 5% and saying it's not as big as, but it is part of it? Mm-hmm. And to me, Monday, the conversation of blending the two should be where we should be looking at right now.
Exactly. Thank you.
But don't make us make it seem like it can never be done. It can be done. They are still selling. How are they listening to it? How are they listening to it? Now, finally, my thing to us, mpanyefo na momu hu sika e wo CD mu no. The reason why Ayeboafo will ask you all this question is that if it can be done, why are you not doing it?
Okay, because people like him, and people like Bandes. What you say? People like Bandes. You are not a consumer. You are. You see, say Bandes. Etimiba ebe kase and neka se eba no CD players in Nimuntino. I didn't try me hanse kase yenkoye CDs. Ne Bandes entimi ehun say cars bebre wo ho a omubo CDs. Ono wo business ni mu no. Cars bebre na wo ho ebo CD no. Sa business no o say yenyai because kakra bi ba ebo ntide enko di akire. And this is the man who was doing this business. Yeah, Miniaba. Yes. Who can say obi betimi invest in CD players no. Me pacho vinyls. Etwa mu no. Etwa mu ansa CD eba o. But when vinyls musicians no started some more year no. Manufacturers of the players no so aba. And I can show you one. I know one that Halifax. Eto buy senior offices here vinyl player. Any who nyom. Enti amanfo a started ye biem. Nyomu ja tititi no. When consumers yes say omo pe bi ato no. Now the market has start producing. Enti ye can say the players no ewo ho a minia NY. Wo player no want to be that. Abra we school I start here adwuma no. Na CD play no. Etwam enti want to be. But your father any omo generation no. Omo wo bi esisi dem omo ntu nwu yo. O papa ni bi. O papa wo bi. Any o papa no nya guy. But omo no me guys no mo wo bi. Esi dem sesi a. The moment the song starts coming, no, you will see so bia be papa ne de ho. Not all right.
Okay, legs yaw. Mama nkwa ahoma ne so mra me ba no mama okwa ama wakasa. Ye nkwa ahoma ne so ne ne legs the comic and twetwe nkomo menya ne tie say also we be kakro person worker inti Lexi what mean kai ma kwa about the entertainment review so
major so ana me da open the team na see tie for na so
okay
Betty, I mean, who to me because men are made them come on the buy. I mean, Socrates has been talking about it, but this particular one, men are made the buy. And I may say, may issue with Ghana entertainers, especially musicians, ASA. Why are they always making excuses for going back to sell pen drives and CDs? But the guy on the street selling CD media, or no, they wouldn't say there is a market for it. I mean, what's the deal in the car business? Or moment cars. The first new cars, Bannon just abusho kind for no, and confirm manual cars, spare parts, and the ton manual cars for. There is still a market for the manual cars because manual cars, the new cars, Bannon just say, yes, manual cars, So why is it that if there is a streaming face of music bar, all of a sudden we are erasing or more the option of playing CDs in their cars? And it will shock you how we just assume to say we are not konenimunti yena yenko yenim. Meanwhile, we are not konem what you kwaya kwabrochet that enyama bebre akonenim o wiase Ghana yenyenduo. We are still yenyenduo ana Ghana kwa eni bie no bebre na ya kanoka. E Accra happen e wo. Ghana is not just Accra. You will baby bebre. My mom, there are people like my mother, my father, my uncles, people within the even quiet generation, they will be brave. Wow, they still love to consume music. Okay, that's smartphone, but only how obey use smartphone because they are consuming music. So what? The only option is to obey CD on the pirate one also. Pirate one now make canon so. Okay, musicians. Yesterday I spoke to one musician, the manager. Okay, me say, oh, on the commander came on mobile in CD about the Ghana car. I don't any that, but. And I'm now manager. No, then I'll catch it. Like, how did you guys take it? Or say, oh, and they got roof with Juma. Issue I must study. I didn't when say there was a point in time in Ghana music. There were people who did the selling of the CDs for the musicians. Ghana musicians first of all CDs no, or more probably more maton CD no, because all maton CD no, it has never been part of their DNA. And I am saying, say. Despite and the performance and code, they are not coming back to the game again. It's what do we do? What's next on pirated CD, how can we legitimize their business? It is Nana Yaone artists, and you say no, what you have yes, anyway, be a boys not on see this no, I want to pen drives no. Yet you remember under one umbrella. Near legalize your business, no, then we can use them as means to sell the CDs because they are the new despite and the new performers. But we are not looking their direction because we think that it's an audio marketing at the day. One time I call circle. People are selling songs on pen drive. Go for the Android phone, boss. And if you go to the classics, they're telling you about 50 pesos. They're telling you about 50 pesos. And so go to the says you can't be biada. And so I don't need to mean to say, boys na good circle now. Or put a computer, you know, much you go for phones, and they are in hundreds. They are and then that cycle do a sam, a sample for the do a sam, do a castle, do a vantage point where there is market. I don't need to mean legalize your business, maybe a pay up with their form machine is what. Because Omuka the best to kill more illegally. No, here I can't say. The app will find a way to record and then going to me trade. Then going to at least make 30% of the sales of the song near a ton or cycle, no, not just the CDs, so pen drive near Android, no. But who catch a musician or say, hey, it came, it's a bit a cycle, and 50%. How much of your song do they sell on audio mark for you to even recognize 50%? But who catch a musician or say, it's a time era, no, it came. It's a one notice station only access to internet via now, you know. How do they play your songs? How do they, Anna, one thing about music industry is that the moment the music industry will find a way to sell its CDs and pen drives, it will have a ripple effect on all other industries.
Okay. All right. Now, Lexi, now also
the music, you know, yet me talk music, you know, through pen drive or CD and Nabibia. Now, movie people too will find a way to also sell their movies. Automatically, movie folks will inquire. Then, when the movie industry tries for stand-up comedy too, I can start selling. But you see, music, you cannot do movie without music. You cannot do stand-up comedy without music. Meaning, music is the bigger tree that other branches are feeding on.
Okay. Now, Lexi, now, yaw, esu busasa say no. Comedy no I lucrative ma mu to me two a year musicians for. Now so we can be afamu.
There be ya wonkofo bebra echi radio so a omutu musicians bi craft for mu sikase omu. Ma onkasa. Ya wonkofo bebre nya kwa betra radio so omutu penifo bebre fo ba bra peni na bo no. Ombo bi the fact say maybe obi enya nti kese ontimi ntu ufo. I saw something at Osu that I saw cars, luxurious cars. I bet you these people are supposed to stream music, packing to buy CDs and pen drive. And I said, let me write this about it because it people are feeding on their intellectual property. Now me try, I was saying, I then I made sure that CD here. Okay, why? Because within your scope of friends, no, mumu de monto CD. But there are millions of people who are buying the CDs, and if you have no idea, do your research. This thing just escaped me. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, how did that? Okay, so another thing I made the back and said. Obi to me tonight, Kumasi, me mama and me wasabi and me papa and even your contemporary, which me now VIP bus. Now watch the movie part 1, part 2. No about the do VIP station. But you need a quabia, whatever, or two I'm moving in the part 4, part 3, and part 4. I'll bet me depend I was a me tonama could feed the macoshe with some encryption here. Want me and final moving in Maubia, and so said the next time Babato movie. I then need to mean a mechanism there, many than that because the way things work in Europe probably will be different in Ghana. But other than Ghana, you find any system here better working for you, but you're deviating.
Okay. All right, Lexi, you better say any a year or more would they be boas and come here that's be
yeah.
Yes.
Hold on. The last thing, I say musician be no bit my coach na kwa ton CD. Now what's a cordia na stone boy we ya won na wa kwase what could na more. Now what's o fans them na no meto. How many of your fans even come to the mall on a regular? I say one time sold the CDs behind tracks. Not the trailer, be one on Namo Kaishin. and people were, I can bet you, he sold thousands of those copies.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, what the table being a dear Simon, I won't sign your autograph. How many people can you sign in a day? If I find a better seat in the pen drive, no, they are on the street. Yeah, it's a traffic in a chicken. Yeah. Why can't you be in a trailer and move with if the despite who said sell it for you?
All right, Lexi, you better see bebre any umwa what they want come Lexi the comic a comedian wo a year Ghana ha wono eno kopeja san komo ba ye ne ababe yen komo kesi ayedi eti for yen fan komo intro here na won so views and opinions I wono fabra a comment section asena yen kan emamo. After 3, Peace FM Entertainment Review now with I think say here for get used to this song because they say you bueno it will agent. What is here? All right. 10 minutes after 3, Peace FM Entertainment Review net here for Masugusu Amutie. Me call YouTube ho kakra any Facebook kakra na makai. Some of the comments are ebano. Comments ni bi ebi say I hope someone ventures into this market. Our malls around the country. Wamu be here a year DVD players. He also say in France, DVD players and CD players are still in the shops and people are buying them day in, day out. All right, say a year CD in komo ye the battery ha na yatwa yen komo so. Abusianfo say na watching social media ne so de ye hu ensema edimu akotene wo hopa. Ebi ni a year one of ye monumental places are a walk room ha. A year the Kwame Nkrumah a year Memorial Park ho. I think so a year the Black Star building ya Ghana hanum say ye di tu ye ho pa e ba no say ye call a year a ban ye tourist sites near the is one of the places a year iconic e wo a year chrome ha na emrantie mienu bi efi a year South Africa abakrum ha ebetwitwa mfoni bi edukoto eye social media ne so na eno no ababaye nkomo kese pa amanfo etie mu se Ghana Tourism Authority edien safeguard pa na intimode guard eye the sanity of our national sites any eye such iconic places to say ye Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park Independence Square Ebri Gardens any ade etie for Yetene say emrantie mienu bi ebepie mu krom ha chese emfoni a wo mu kotwitwa e wo such iconic places I wo Ghana hanum say bi na mabobodi the year Independence Square baby a Ghana ye gi ye fa hodie Omakwa kojina eye Kwame Nkrumah statue yi animu pe na sebe wo mo fe wo ma no ene wo mu twa mfoni na chese wo mo de to social media ne so na ene etiefo ene amene mu kase sese no ukomrante ni page a mfoni ne da so da ho na we aba be raise eye enkomo ewo eye Ghana for ekremu se womo ntiase de nti amrante etumi nya kokuduro ekogina ebi omu gina makola market baby ana omu gina kwa ho baby na omu ye omade a ene de nyenzani omu na omu ye omade na se womu kogina eye Independence Square omu kogina Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park ekogina eye statue no animu pe no mu twamfoni ede to ho any who captions are one more day a year day at 2 phone na say for mekan bi akyeremo na mahunu say enyem phone keke na wo mu try dem mom senia enwuma me boy ya wo mo friend agenda ya say nkrofo agenda no wo mu ba krom ha say wo mu ba be ye den wo mu ba be set no ma hyehye adwuma na ma adwuma edigana fo na wo hwe eye comment na e koso social media it looks as though for omo Oma yeden oma achieve wo mo purpose nti a wo mo be post sa pictures in Ghana for akoma enyo so kra e bi mo sre honorable Sam George ababa kasa akire mu se we say security agencies wo mo di mo akotin na sa mema no wo mo nkwachi wo mo na se mra bi e wo ho e we say eni o mo di no eni o mo ni amanfo obusa se mra ban ne e wo Ghana ha ye behwe so a ye ne nkrofo yi ebedi na caption no ebini Bakuha or say we are doing this for those who can't show love to Ghana. Thank you for the shares, comments, and love. Or say every bit of awareness matters. This bill written threatening the safety and freedom of Ghana's queer community. We know not everyone can love out loud like this. We are doing this for those who can't, for those who had to leave, and for those still hiding. We are not activists. We are just in love. And sometimes that's enough to start a revolution. Bakunso awomo etwa ya na omu gina Kwame Nkrumah statue and omo say Kwame Nkrumah stood here and declared a nation free. Today we stood here and declared ourselves free too. Free to be loud, queer, African, bold, and drenched in Renaissance energy. Let love heal us all, because the revolution didn't end in 57. It lives in every beautiful act of defiance, in every unapologetic expression of itself. Bakunsu awomo try almost say we are here to love bomb Ghanaians with love, to show them that being queer is accepted and it's okay. Na chese enkomoi ababa ye kese pa chese enkofoi so mo ya activism so mo ya revolutionary listo so mo ya dian obi ntumi nkyere. I think say enkomo ya baba ye kese ama amanfo start so mo tagi eye the honorable Sam George ama honorable Sam George abetire mu bekasai otrema wo say ono de okọ eye girls in ICT program bi ohono hu se nkofo bebre na a start target no ewo eye samfoni a enkofo yi posting in social media womode ebetu hoi na ite for me kan eye ensema honorable Sam George edituja or say I just returned from Accra from Ho in the Volta region where I attended the climax of our successful Girls in Impact program. I have seen numerous tags and posts about the abhorrent disrespect of our culture and values by two useless quote-unquote individuals. The disrespect of our national symbols is despicable, to say the least. However, I am shocked to see apologists of the MPP calling on me and demanding action. What a shameless lot. We are here today without a strict legislation on these ills because former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo failed and blatantly refused to sign the Family Values Bill into law after Parliament of Ghana and the court had cleared the bill. You defended the immoral stance of the President Akufo-Addo then, and today you want to pontificate. How dare you? I have, along with my colleagues in Parliament, resubmitted the Family Values Bill. It has gotten to Mr. Speaker's approval and should be laid for first reading any moment soon. The values, morals, and innocence of our children must be protected. I would demand that President John Dramani Mahama sign the bill when we get it passed again. My position has not changed, but I despise hypocrites. Law enforcement must identify the two miscreants in the viral photos and apply the full rigors of existing laws on them for God and country. We na Honorable Sam George Ede Ebetu Dwa watche mu se wonu de okọ ICT girls in ICT jumedie bi a wo mudi no ho na wo hu sem kofo bebre na target no no ba ye no be hu mfoni a mmemme ye twa wo mudi egu eye ntentan fidie no so a in his words no se mmemme se bi wo musu ni mfaso wo mu ye useless na wo mutumi ekọ disrespect eye ye national symbol with such distasteful and despicable photos na omodi akwakoto wo no na ye no wan bebre pass MPP fo bi a wo mo target no wo mo target is wo me ye den e ne ferry crash so wo mo no mani hu wo mo ho ana se eye wo mampani dada Mr. Nanado Dankwa Kufuado emra wote so no wo failure. In fact, he blatantly refused say one signing a family values bill no en shemrem wo mra na parliament any a year court a clear bill no say you to me a sign masha e defend a yes stance Kufuado fa yes say one signing bill ya afei we ya ba mo ba target me mo ye hypocrite mo ani hu mo ho kra say mo target me na mom many me colleagues are many omo ye adwuma wo mrahye bedwa fie ho no ya sign e the bill no akwa to Mr. Speaker animu Mr. Speaker approval la enche womo ebetumi enya kwan akan eye bill yi e wo parliament intem na osre anase wo bebusa ana wo be hye President John Dramani Mahama se banesa na se bill no ye pass ya one sign na wono Sam George de baby a wogina no ensesan nanso ade a wochin ene obi a oye hypocrite na chese MPP fo no bi na mo target no ochira mo ye hypocrite na this a year photographs no aspect a conversation and say what idea yenso ye be che ya adwen wo ho kakra ebi mo kire say this one no kire say Ghana sabio womo ka eye LGBTQ+ ai hui womo ba krom ha womo betumi aye ba ye de womo pe because assistance now say mra bi aniwa esi womo kwan ebi mu chese mfoni ankofo ye twa ye womo akoko gina such iconic places a womo twa mfoni e de message pa na e send across the world to people ebi mu chese na baby omu ko gina ya omu twa mfoni nti why na ma omu kwan so omu ko gina na omu ko twa sa mfoni no. This is a conversation ababe peja man for every Ghana Tourism Authority say womu enyina womu na so na womu enye bibi kwasi
yai de di kan asama wabi say emodu ye pa na asama metuma bo ase na maka ho asam ye pa ti mama me break akra ya ne kwasam e wo honum say in as much as say oman bia nipa da sene ye ba wiase ye wo ye freedom of movement ye wo ye freedom of hwan freedom bibia justice no so de eka no available to everybody no yes so our limitations to nema bia asese ye no yes our limitations ya the entire limitations necessary even one kasa wo fie kra wote in as much as say ya wo freedom of right no menya sure say because of freedom of right we to master anapa papa sum in the name say we Ghana ni na all right nti usora na pa na papa sum papa you call near Bechuko police station. I will say you are exercising your rights. Ebusuya wo free me, mabusuya me free mu. Ya, mpanimfo bu bebe se obi bia no ho betun de nsa benkum akire ne papa fie. The teacher ne say there's a particular respect bia ye de ma nipa resani. Yen ubedu ya man mo Ghana ha. America for ewo mo mra ene said de ompo so mo live on life. Etime ye question as metie. Se me nam na me kohye obi so America ni. Yae. Na se wabona som 30. Botutu ne sen edendade awenade emponkonda de na gu ne sen ase ana wachichi ne ti de abegu ne na ase a mini minka bi because oman na otimu no environment na otimu no samra no ne de achichire sesa nipa no onfa mbɔ ne bra acceptable practice a wo mo agya tum so mo de bɛbɔ mo bra yae yetu kwan ne yekɔ amanone a ebi wa wokɔ land na wotitire mu a bo say school girl school boy omo mienu omo titire nim na omo kese pa ewo training na nipa dodo ina agum no ya bo say kwala mienu na omo titire na omo kese mekwasi mintimi nkonkoka ho asem because environment na omo timo no acceptable practice wo ho say we ababa wa we abrantia you don't even need your parental consent say oba kwa kese obi a odo no o say ubetuma exercise say we love baby a opebia nti no mugugum saa yetumi nam obehu say oba yekwa bochi abon say be man no wa hwe masket no wa say no wa painting no wa ye makeup ogina ho eyo min koka wasem eyo man no mutimu no emra ene say de o ma decide so live on life no sara ene o mu ye nti no that is their law enti obi ntumi mfiri ha enko kire obi a oti America said the bear kwan obefa so ahya na tade ene kwan obefa so adidi ana say kwan obefa so atu America they have their system so na ya na me expect say said the Ghana ndi bi ntumi nkonko kire obi oti Britain kwan ya fa so kabrofo kwan ya fa so didi kwan ya fa so love obi no sa na ya na me peso say obi so oti ba bi a on so ti sa kro no so no say oduru ye mamu ha Republic of Ghana yen so ye ya de hye a onyankopon ode abedua saa asase we so a ye fa no man Ghana West Africa aha ana onyankopon so de abedua se ye wo sika o se ye ni sika o se ye tetia o se ye tuntumo yen so aha ana onyankopon de abedua. This is where we are a nation yen so ye de onyankopon de abedua ni nti ya na me expect say obi a wo ba bi a wo ba Ghana no irrespective of your belief any gidie bi a wo no obeduru man Ghana ha you may want to accord certain respect to the nation Ghana and who we are because ye ma okromo member yes ha bi wo ho nti menem de nti asesa wo ba Ghana na yen ba bia yen ye iconic monument ye nananom de omomoja prayer e freedom and justice edema Republic of Ghana ye Flagstaff Square esi ho ene Independence Square kese Ghana ni bia tu no ho aho ana se ye de obi besi so se we your mampani se ye chew ye de usi so se ye to so abasa we president of Ghana babia Ghana ni ye ina ye kobo fa akuhia na ye kopita ye kopeja Ghana konfena educator sa nipa no e de o man we tumi de ma sa nipa no se we president of Ghana and this ha bia hodom no that is our sacred place a place a Ghana ni bia feel proud na wo drive on adwukra na wo duru hodom a you drive carefully so we Ghana ni kra na wo drive na wo do Independence Square irrespective of speed I would know you may want to slow down because you know why you've gotten to a place where you see yourself so kan so we Ghana ni a that is where your Ghana win wutumi no ewo so how dare you so be free ukrom na yen babia yen yamapam atena bia aho ane yetumi Ghana ye bibia na ye bibia ye sacred place wo no wo na wo so your sahinti no obegina saa bia ho no saa no abeba abusubra ayete saa ala tamam na kwaya saa da ye friend bibi abomination is an abominable act aw kwaya saa de wo ahimfe babia ye be mo atwanwan apa e de apata enti me makase esese gamanche ene ahimfo okrom hanom no as I saw mukoko rituals I was sabia hono for the discretion that has happened at that place. As I said, government, any in penny form, echo train nine, and when acquire this echo near South for and now so from penny for Adanka Williams, one more cost habia ho, no more bompire, hon, your special mamre for this kind of abominable act that has happened at that place.
But then,
if nobody respects Ghana, we as the citizens of the nations of Ghana, we will have to decide to respect and cherish our nation.
Mincha, no, but. This set photographs here, ye can want see me. As it stands now, me will kasa see ye kase. Emrant here no okom social media page. It's still there. They've not pulled down the post yet.
Okay.
And see what's senia who can say ya abomination more mine then the right authorities,
okay,
and our institutions and our leaders or whoever is in charge of found, because as it stands now the post is still there on their social media pages and I'm sure they'll put it on their YouTube vlogs and what have you.
Yeah, thank you for that good question. And a good social white in there, quite a power. Yeah, thank you for that good question. Yeah, and chair be 2-3 weeks in and yet table soon yet say and crowphobia. Every FBI woma ba Ghana womo by woma asem say enkrophobia omo Ghana this year woma akwakodupu America citizens this year in the name of romance scam enti woma ba ade omutumi ne ba be hye oman Ghana tumi ase ade sa nkrofo na kogina court se womo di fo a womo beta womo do mo akọ America na womo akwakodi omo asem ho enye sa yanse nye sa na tie what nye sa enti FBI for ne buy any or man special protocol arrangement or man one ebe secure sa right no yes sir sa na me special me kire edno man pani fo ATM na wie say America be afford me ba Ghana ebe chichi Ghana this year womo akwa so romance scam agege abofo violate o man America for loss achichi omo de omo akwas dia sa emrana ema America for me ba Ghana no yes Ghana protocol o man yenso ye de ensa kwhye sa protocol arrangement na se bi no me so me catch foreign affairs ministry say any parliament of Ghana said this is the time the parliament of Ghana any the foreign affairs ministry wo so betuma kire say sa protocol arrangement no Ghana so betumi akwachi obi a wo betwa mfoni say oti America and also oti South Africa to bring the person drag the person here for prosecution. This is the time for Ghana to expedite that law. This is the nanon to kana metra and kwofo twama the power of Facebook no. This is the time I miss me kase. If any protocols exist so bi ko man bi so kodi bone yetumi che sai nipa no yedumi ko esoma ma abia for kofa ne badia. I am pleading to the Republic of Ghana, President Otie Konyaso, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Nami we san sisu biam say yewra Sam George awakasa. I need your support to this one too. Say baby bia mrebe protocol arrangement one wherever those young men are. Ghana as I say yenso so use the same protocol. Ye kwache sa nkrofo no edeba. Na ye di ombebe tina o man Ghana. Na ye di omukokodi o masem said the ABA4 ebetiti Ghana de shede o makono. We must also use that law. Yeah? This our question I will be saying no. We need to also test the law. Because the law is not just say Oman Ghana no. The law is not only to jail Ghanaian citizens. The laws are not only there to jail Ghanaian citizens. The law must also be there to also benefit Ghana. The citizens of Ghana, we also Ghanaians no. The law must also work in our favor. It is Obia Ghana. Now about the security and public space at this a monument at this no we know what play mu na so kwa. I want the law to also work. This is the time the law
yeah okay. Edi mra na Ghana empenifo a wo from we. Edi mra na omu begina so ede akwakofa enkrofo yaba omanwa abe prosecute you because as it stands now
good
family values bill yen sign enti enyemra enimrem me patcho dia make not ma say emra me de minim say wo ho unnatural carnal knowledge no but this one no does it really fall under that
I think sir Owura Sam George utie ni post ni mo he is a member of parliament me menye parliamentarian but owura Sam George o kind message na o kind no o wie no sanso de hyase say he's urging the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to chase them wherever they are and bring them to come and face the law or MP samra bi ani ba bia etumi ye adwuma anka menya sure say Honorable Sam George obe make such quote etesa and therefore I am making my argument based on such statement na Honorable Sam George make here no and I me double up at the outsusu say maybe we Ghana laws no obi bedi bone o man Ghana said the FBI for aba or ma bechichi romance can for the makono. I think that it is also the same thing and as I say yes so on my Ghana you to me was on my Ghana no say indeed say sa protocols no say obi call man bi obi man so kodi bone no odwane kwa ye wo protocols e wo ho ayetumi ko a law e wo ho ayetumi ko kodi say ni para samachi ne ba no say indeed say sa bibi say wo ho a I'm urging on the Foreign Affairs Ministry any state and say they should use the law and then arrest all those people. The law must work in our favor too. That we cannot just sit for obia beba baby bi Ghana keke no pa no afọ ne baby ko. Say mra ho ne esumi de chichi romance come for there. Adete ye ne law ayetumi so diddly with the people who will come
and make sure say wo law no ensan ye. Wo law na eni ho ntisi a law na wo boso no law ben.
Say one more sign ya go hwe if you Monday copy Friday they should go to parliament and sign it and bring those people. Okay. They should sign the law. Signature near this sign. They themselves from by side they know what they have done. That's why they ran away. Yeah, say many one ma. I don't know come we no man tra krom ha. So mu ye mema pa no mu ye side no we no mu fi say mran bia ni Ghana. E betuma chi omo a. Asanka nkese so nkomo tra ha. Ankomo tra no na nkomo hu say yes mema ni krom ha. But omo we no they know what they have done and they know the punishment. Nto mu we na na pua. Wom koye. They've run away. They should stay here and then see say mema bia ni krom ha. I don't know man nwane anko. I don't know man tra krom ha no mu we no madwane ko. They know there's a law. All right. And we must test the law. It is time to test the law. All right. The law must work.
Okay.
Yeah, there are laws.
All right.
Say asamun towa and I be so my gun and mbreni ha. Say some to near Chuko police station a ho na be so cross red light out to them for almost 2 years.
Okay. Yao for microphone.
Well, me more I think say addition mesiano. Adeba kwa mesua ye say okọ krofufuro bi mu a say utimi sua oman fufuro bi ama say utimi sua omo hyehyeye ene omo customs because ekro bi wo ho a opeja onsa na ayo onsa say a oba onse ma enye bibia but ekro bi wo ho a wo ya oman bi wo ho a wo ya omo taking likely at ya say and I believe say because in crofoni nim say Ghana ha no reaction but when it's no more call and no more post it in terms of the moral standpoint ne there omo ye bo apayo omo nim say enya ade a Ghana fo ni beje ho but still omo ye but here the call emramu there me sense many fie me nyi me ntie say yache nkrofo menu so mo kisida me ntie wo bebia in case a lawyer so ho no betima
say we ye emema mienu and so
because me ntie Menti say ya chem krofo mu kisi
say wo bibi wo mrema mekano obscenity na che say niema ensem fata say ye de ba ye betwem say ye nimu say bio anka no fie de ye between oba ne obema
so say we see a picture in your video say obscene de sem krofo around
no images count enti obscene no said this is an image that we've seen them displaying
based on interpretation based on style be argue no but in terms of law to say you're unnatural canai we nya dey share so unfortunately no ye ni mra ubetimi dey asomo I believe say Honorable Sam George statement no make it from an emotional standpoint because say or you be our champion LGBT law anti-LGBT laws no the Family Act no into who you know a trigger bibu plus I think say social media and again plus MVP sympathizers now somebody say why buy now but still I believe say no a man posted or posted you know but in terms of legally need there very debatable What I say, but ideally, no, I think say you will ways I'll be to me I resolve it. I think say Kwesi Kan Minister of Foreign Affairs Okujeto they bet me out to consulate of South Africa because I'm from South Africa and your database bet me out to consulate no chance our citizens never no say no more yeah because maybe any legal back in being to me jelly money they are banning almost some Ghana. Yeah, you take Ghana, it's more Hana US for banning.
And probably they should pull down the post on social media or something.
And I think it's a bad thing because of freedom. But in terms of coming back into Ghana, I believe say our mechanism maybe me stop you from coming to Ghana. So I share America embassy crazy almost say my social media crying public because okay be a tea almost on the reject too. I think there is something similar. Say a bit me ban you from coming to this country because even though any laws be as a guide there culturally no as Ghanaians we in your actor you supporting naturally what you say inti so be ba Ghana so we ho now ba Ghana mpawcho so your laws no ne sua your cultures no ne hu de pe ne yempe because so ba na be ye de yempe de ye no betwe pa.
Socrates.
Well, Mate, amanfo bebree can say yemfa Ministry of Tourism ye twiomo ebem. I don't know where they come in. If obi betimi aboame baby Ministry of Tourism ebemu was adien because any Ministry of Tourism and they control the sites no they have their managers. Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, EPC koye bibi krampo omuko seek permission. I think state protocol and handles areas those areas no any tourism no handle areas be. Inti Independence Act hono is not under Ministry of Tourism. Ti hono emphasize education and so emma. Media me who countries bebre omo iconic areas are tourists eko twa pictures oko France omo de Germany omo de neniema years ago na Independence Act hono na no go area de bia na me bisa me ho say this area is seniority enti me ho say betimi attract tourists na senior you other countries or use some iconic areas na they attract na aye ho kuntan as if say bibi she hobby na say bibi until say ye bie ho man for kokotwa pictures wedding pictures and it was selling Ghana. I'm telling you tourism as a marketing your friend is saying that area is selling Ghana a lot for people to see these pictures splash all over and they also want to come and take pictures there. Inti ni akoso wo hono I don't think say it should affect the purpose for that area in terms of tourism. It shouldn't affect it. This is not the reason at the time I ever can see no more bianco hobium. You started be a ho be seen nei. Nkrofo we na akoho akodin say it shouldn't affect omonso omokoho ekoye bibi papa. Educate art, educate attraction eba. Inti mesre omo kani nyina na yanchichemu. Nkrofo eni omokoye no emre bia wo ho ese ni omudi no eni omundi emre bia anso ese ye hye na di sa eniema wei so no take care of no ye nhihye sa amra ne tem ne ntimi take care of settings. Yeah.
Okay, Tilly.
Okay. So in common way I think there's a factor we have ignored. Is the activist partner woman. So I see a lot of people say, oh, buy a chroma, won't mean say, oh, munim some and that is how activists they move. So we follow how activists they do their things. King Charles, the first portrait in a London gallery, and our activists be echo saying. Yeah, it was very viral. Reported CNN June 11, 2024. All over the world, activists do things. Ama asemukrontia, they want to do that or they want to start a conversation around it will be triggered to start exactly what we are doing. Ain't you know? By the way I are responding as Ghanaians, you know, it means that the next time we will see them, they will be in Osu Castle doing it. Because the purpose of Omejuma as activists no, has been achieved and more. Yeah, starting to say agenda na setting ADN. And this is what they wanted. The conversation of anti-LGBTQ or LGBTQ. And now post now can see they are love bombing all the places because there's nothing like freedom unless queer people too are free. And that is the conversation that they know Ghanaians don't want to have from what they are sharing. Amaya having. Now, aside the sa or my question is, how did they get access to the place? Is it a free place? Meet me. Sorry, I call. I could try my pictures for her, and now do I need access from somebody?
Well, according to an interviewer, a year Kofi Ochredakun, a grantee war, I think Adum, he made it clear, say, oh, Kohwa, you need a permission to take. I've never been to the place. Into me faho, but me call home kocha content. Okay. So I don't know how. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if you have to get permission.
It's a public place. It's a public place.
So you don't need permission.
No, but
so then why did he then say that?
To us. Oh, koye event be wha. You need permission, but individuals are
as a content creator or
you walk in.
Exactly. Yeah. Now it has positioned the conversation because me here access to the place and as a me ba obetchem say I say no. A government has say any say what you say, and that is where you can allocate a guard, a tall guard. They tell you the rules there, and then they give you a guard who follows you, a guide who follows you. Make sure say you are following the rules of the place. And if this place you have to seek permission before you use it, then who was watching to ensure say something we say it is not conforming to your standard of living it's not being done. But if it is an open space, this conversation changes. If it's open for the public, conversation will change. And you see, come on, maybe I know people will get emotional and might insult me, but it has to be hard anyways. The fact that it is morally wrong here in Ghana doesn't mean morals be moral. It's not the same. And see, by the way the laws of the land works, they consider all the moral parts, our cultural beliefs, and they have a way of enshrining it or entrenching it into our laws. It's not there whether you are happy about it or not. It is the law you have to follow. Which is why certain traditions in certain places like female genital mutilations have been cut out because you can't say it's our culture so we will do it. Does it go against the laws of the land? Yes, you can't do it. And say you can't say let's go and bring them in like we want to do the FBI thing. If it's about obscenity and also unnatural carnal language, is kissing unnatural carnal language? It's not. It's not considered as
kissing between two men.
That's what the LGBT. That is why they are pushing it in Parliament. That LGBTQ part, it's a loophole. What you say? And these people have exploited that loophole. Now, Sam George made a very interesting post, and I like it. Or say, MPP for no more kasa now say and I'm going to quote somebody, Reverend Intil Fodjo. If this account is Intil Fodjo's account, then he's right to call them hypocrites. Because we were here in Ghana, if this thing is so obscene, until you call the ruling government out for allowing this to happen under their water. There was a time where you too, your president could have appended their signature and this thing would not have happened. Or would have had the law to go and pick those people up. What you say? So how many times did Intil Fodjo speak against the delay of that signature? And now how many times did they call on the last guy who had taken the thing to court injunction to say it's a boss who are there who here intino? So case no. President and signing. But all of a sudden, Uko opposition once again, political interest over national interest. Politics first. Ghana hamping for politics first. And some of my John Minor. Or cut now opposition there. When who say a problem? or what bemu there, it was never a problem because now buying also. Now let's come to Sam George. 6 months. You cannot be latching on an MPP for a mistake. So we have seen order of agency, how things can be done quickly in parliament because you are super majority. The president of Ghana now has said, emphatically say, at the time crown pono, now we are majority minority no, na a private citizen bill, but now put your banner a bill, which means say President Mahama our interest when we say deal with I was say a basso. So what is the delay for? Because we've seen a bill like the fuel bill agency, it was able to pass super majority holiday bill. Chief Justices, you see the minority voted against, but it was approved by a majority decision, which means say anything that is important to the NDC now in Parliament can be done. It can be done. So what is the delay? The only update I have heard about this LGBTQ thing is the Pastor George says they have submitted it to the speaker and they are hoping the speaker will call it. That was the update I was hoping. And the way I am quite surprised, Sam George, or day, your friend is saying LGBTQ agenda samba, Ghana ha. It me submitted now 100 dimple. Because I should have known, like the way he has been vociferous about LGBTQ. I should know by now, say some judge have submitted, and if we are going to do demonstrations to pressure the speaker, if you are going to do demonstration to pressure the speaker to call it because of agency, they will be doing that and be adding our voices.
Till my training does, mommy.
We catch you, slow down. What you say? Ain't it no clearly something political? I say, ya buy wa mudia and yet as agents by your co-opposition dia and your opposition dia as agents, you can't play dilly-dally with our minds. We are tired. If LGBTQ is bad and your maya no a hamwa emrano one sign one shamu president and as a super majority one ne empassing. Wow, what the opposition so a fain away who's a Ghana who here. Because there was a time that we would have needed your voice to make that thing happen, and you sat quiet because we're buying a bemu. Let us brief.
Well, 49 minutes after 3, it's here for Peace Entertainment Review, and I would say Infan Komoi Entreha na baba picky phone calls kaka. Yeah,
let me be say. Now we remember someone law school, and I'm reading from the friend saying public friend saying indecency laws. No, what I say? According to Ghana public indecency laws, no, or say in Ghana, public display of affection, including kissing, can be considered indecent depending on the context and the specific law. While holding hands or hugging might be acceptable, more intimate acts like passionate kissing could be seen as violating public morality and potentially lead to charges under laws related to public indecency or offensive conduct. Let me be sir. With such background, now we be law bang. And my sign into when your time now you go through, maybe there could be another. None of me sign bisa Beyonce. Independence Square, flash staff how you know another. Is it security cameras are also to say? What are the security aspects of what some of these monumental areas? No, because me say places like Buckingham Palace, all this Times Square, they are very high active cameras are. Bibi ekoso ohobiano, they are able to see it. Me person me find out sa square hono security cameras ben ho a because me sure say mrante no kra post sa pictures we are anka yankasa kra security cameras hono no couldn't have even captured this act say ekoso ho nti me person me find out say what's a security system hono so to say, because it looks like in some of our public spaces. As most of the cameras in Ukraine, and we need to actually find out so that some babies are no enkoso, because now it could be say obisu take advantage of nkoma yedi, obisu so take advantage like this to go and do something different. not even say Independence Square or it could be another places crowd or and a person not till the mukra make submission be on an industry show say there was mukraba a baby smoku or making reference to if I say
Chris
Brown or buy a public space or call Flagstaff House. Make meal munaba look at the act ni no portray like omushishe nika emukwa she nika ne shots no mo de call seat of government na that day number one we necessity we need to come clear to actually look at some Kwanya Befaso addresses some of these concerns because seriously speaking it's something we need to look at security and how we can prevent some of these things from happening both now and the future.
All right, Peace FM Entertainment Review Namuti. It's for Yebasisia.
My shorty know they lie to me. And she they try for me. My shorty know they lie to me. She said, no time today, phone for me. She said she go follow me. You wanna wake up next to me. She said, all I ever want is baby, let's get so freaky tonight. Baby, make you open the door. If you with me, it's alright. As long as you go give me some more. I'm so in love. Now you they make me go, baby. I'm so in love. Now you they make me go slow. Hey, oh yeah, I give you love in no door. Open up the door, my auto. You they make me that man auto. Oh yeah, auto. I give you love in no door. Open up the door, my auto. You they make me that man auto. Spiritual love when you give it to me. Baby, make your live story. They hide me like you only. Nothing could fit come between us. No bag of fit come between us. I tell you, say now you where I need. She say all I ever want is baby, let's get so freaky tonight. Baby, make you open the door. If you with me, as long as you go give me some more. I'm so in love. Now you they make me go, baby. I'm so in love. Now you they make me go slow. Hey, oh yeah, auto. I give you love in no door. Open up the door, my auto. You they make me that man auto. Oh yeah, auto. I give you love in no door. Open up the door, my auto. You they make me that man auto.
Together we be stronger lives. Say now, wow, don't make a buy. I promise to be with you all my life. And everything me do, girl, you depend on my mind. You be the one who give me joy all night. Wipe on my body, make me feel alright. Sorry, you belong to me, yeah. We chill and flex, whatever do, no fight. Give you love and money, make my baby smile. And to be alive, you need love medicine. My baby, they give it to me every day.
All right. This one is P Square. I mean, Mr. P featuring Stoneboy. 56 minutes after 3. It's here for Peace FM Entertainment Review. No, so good. So I would say, yeah, I'm crying. I was so what friend, what share, what drink. But before then, come back. Could be what me perceive Tiffy was saying. Oh, in a fair, yeah, mama crying. I'm on so my friend. Now much my drink. I am saying I want you here. We as a secret. I won't use cinema power. I won't use cinema park. You can't some church and I drink. And one that has sparked another conversation. Then again, I'm a year and central for me to say Austin Wood Moon na Baba Betro teases pa. A church on my dream say so great to Safo Echo a year Miami Bema Halifax show so. Na say yeah ba Kasim scenario ya appointing as ambassador to Spain. na eno no be ye nkomo ana eda ho a wo mudi na Socrates Safo ekeka ensem bi na etefo moma yentie sa anyway na se ye ba yesika akumieje no kwakuo nu na Socrates ankasa wa ha na ensem se bia omanfo no won person bebusa no musa ne ntiase bia wo mubusa because amanfo bebre na chese ni Socrates ken o person o chese se bio wo mo ko school wo ye law no se bio odi mu amuntie muntie.
I say something. I jealous my colleagues. If I look at the way, the leverage I hear more.
Welcome.
I jealous them. Let me confess, I jealous them.
Why do you jealous them?
I feel say the NDC, you know, I respect the mental fortitude of the creatives.
Okay, fam. 1, 2.
Mitipa. Omo creatives no no. NDC for no I respect you. Omo say omo nyansa bi. Omo contribution bi. Hali?
Yes.
It's not easy that you have somebody who can attract attention. Her popularity. Okitano. Any following Okitano. It's a plus to even the country. Into one ambassador. Opio baby ni introduce no. I bet you it's 50% plus to the country. And I look at my colleagues, the Rexomans, KODs, Abeku Santanes. Masa, edipa hina ni yeni ewo MPP. At the end of you go and they look at you like, who are you? As if you nyansa. You don't have a degree, Papa. Filmmakers, you need degree of filmmaking. We have a degree in filmmaking. Into who will be filmmaker, be not pre-degree, and just on TV. So when I have wisdom, I have intelligence, I have the brains to put pen on paper and write something and make people watch and cry. Are you more intelligent than me? You who go and read people's accounts of something. No abejina court and nancy baby. No abe kind. No abe kotu. Ni me wani we answer. Me fa plain paper. Ni ma fa pen. Ni ma churo ma dream. Ni ma churo we be free haba. We be koha. We kuku dina hansi. Uko shwa no usu. Ma. Any obia. Assembly esi baby. Ya churo atu ho. Ni wako chiwo empo. Na assembly ab no waka say we ni. Me no wani we answer. Ya dissolve problems. And when MPP start thinking like, Charlie.
Okay, fam.
Is it that creative arts practitioners form more MPP more or more campaigning my party no support your party no one sheda available say look we are available
we did at the end yes what if the party no a subculture yes and believing in certain people. They don't believe in wisdom, but they believe in academic laurels. That is where the problem is. Because if somebody don't have even a degree, the law allows for a presidential appointment. The person can act in that office. Yes. The person can act in the office for all the 4 years. And he will work perfectly. Onipano, yes. Per civil service regulations and nancy bibi no ohia degree and nancy masters bini eniema but onipa no medjuma oye no ohia that but onyansa obetimi dey leading institution no oti adwuma na say so if you make him an acting your friend is saying he will be there for the 4 years and nancy amana ye adwuma pepepe so MPP don't have these brains to understand this are who get a degree and they are my opposition be Halifax MPP guys ibebre
I'm what degree
ni biaba to be a mom because they look at you and you are not a doctor way come on they are looking for certain people.
Eti for any amutie Socrates Safo o express ne sentiments efa senia na dream chiremu no o hu ne se sebio abanda da na ewo so MPP aban woma mfa creative art for anye hwe kapreba na yeni na yedi dance say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wayama na yefe wayama na yakono senia ene creative ofwa womo wo ye industry yimu the brand positions or the amount so creative chema nani brewomo because sebio abanya abasui etumi ahuomo ehunu se senia nanka kana no nkofo binom ehun creative for asebio omo creative for say oh we mu de omo ye sebi mpradua san omo ye comedians maybe atwam kra say parliament house mrashe bedwani bi etna woka say John Dumelo person preba mrashe bedwafie no ofio say concert party ne ye o mrashe bedwafie wana I mean na o share value na no omo to creative for so asebio omo bu omo so we mu de omo nya concert ya no omo be yi amayen na Socrates Chirima Nkofo bebre na omo MPP mu omo degree yes school yes din omo bi kra still MPP am for my nhwe na mpo eba no say obi oye creative obi oye filmmaker sabi otumi fa blank paper na watchre script say yanko act na sabi owo a wuti fie kra utumi ehwe sa script no na utumi su oni wo asabi o kwotena school dem baby ekofa ensema esisi na wakinkanya wakotwere ho exams no oni wo 7 po wan na owo ability to solve problems I think say ensema so critical ye aspaki conversations ebi mu ene ne ya adwen ebi mu so say nya Socrates who can person o say womo ko school no mo ko wakwa womo law degrees ni de keka o person o say dem pan pote na person o che Socrates ankasa wa ha me mana kasa Socrates pacho for microphone
yeah well asema me kan no emuni ehwen na emunna ho a ehia nkyerɛkyerɛmu because me ka nia minim sɛnia mimi hu no ɛna me kae obi ɔte akyire ebia onim onhu nia mimi hu ye enti ɔno nso ɔntemaseɛ one ma me nkyerɛ adeɛ baako mu we de nka menya anka yɛ bɔ no baako ane akyire mu step by step but mmere ne ho ntia nti one men kan se lawyer for adwuma eye yi a ehun hia no men kan sa me equity lawyers omo adwuma na se ne yatie no omo hia degree before ubetimi akọ the next step you need a degree. That is if you want to do law. If you want to become a filmmaker, you don't need a degree to be a filmmaker. So me set it out from me mofrase. Na me talent, na me passion. A filmmaking na. I don't need to go and get a degree. No. A man for a mistake be equity film study to filmmaking. Ye call university, ye film study. A different course from filmmaking. If you go to Hollywood, nobody will ask you for your degree. They look at your talent, at best, your show reel, before they give you a job. So if you go to say ukoji degree in film, obi enu baby saumbu, because you hear what that field no. But enu nkyerɛ sɛ wonnim nyansa. Enu nkyerɛ sɛ yentimi mfa onye hwee. At most, see a more appointment po no call a ministry and as agency bia. There are technocrats there. Omo person be technocrats in this ministry in Yamano. Enti omo no ko ho ekoji administration degree, degree in administration, masters in administration, and in Yamano omo side no. Enti omo wo ho. You are a politician who are over with your political directive or political agenda. directive to the ministry no abe control niema no aye niema ebe suit into your party's manifesto and I say your party's program. But at the end you hu ye nuanim bebre ye mo bebre yan consider mo despite adwuma mo ye oni omo tena one on one enema challenges bebre one sectors bia omo wonyansa omo betimi guide your friend is saying ministry na see that agency no near they manage that sector no ye mo ye kofa omo kita degree that's what they were looking out for first. And I mention many animal call NDC no. Metie, to no Austin Wood. I had a good conversation with Austin Wood even after me reading a write-up. No, in the evening I called him. We close to about 2 hours. We had a good conversation. And yati wasi. And yet NDC for nina and kita degree. NDC appointees. And you nyina hint, you know, if somebody is going to make the say once somebody kita degree, no, and you nyina no kita degree, but they look at the competence of the person. Now let's come to MPP. The MPP of old. Why yikakra councillor. Obi ti said Jake Obechebilamte degree ben no. Jake, the famous Jake Obechebilamte. Near Ode, your friend is saying Marine Drive projects or revive no. Jake Obechebilamte, one of the best chairmen of MPP, the Lintas of old. Lintas they are into advertising. You can't tell me that there was any successful advertising agency at that time. Now they're saying Lintas. I can mention a whole lot of people. Intinime, Nyanime say, my party, the MPP, should not be so fixated on degrees. No. Let the technocrats fight over it. But let's also consider people who have the brains, the abilities to lead. There's difference between a boss and a leader. In politics, we look for leaders. People who can command the sector. If you go to your friends say medical field, let's focus. And then you get a degree now. Oh no. But any personal temperament in so no ultimately attracting him first before we come to whether you have a degree or what, not whatever. Abia, you are a person, Abia problem, you can get in there, unse shoulder pad. You can get with the nurses on the grounds and then talk to them in the language they will understand on the grounds. But you go so into shoulder pad, or be any degree, did any shoulder pad, or no, party foot soldiers, crampo, banny officer, hey, how dare you? Anyway, in Timpacho, one aspect of my submission, no. I'm not saying say degree here. No. Me ma eco school almost degrees. I'm paying. I'm not saying, but me ma school nibio. I'm not an illiterate. I have a certificate, but my certificate is not a degree. I have a certificate in filmmaking from Radio Netherlands. I'm not an illiterate. I don't come here and tout my your friend is saying academic whatever because who in here me field mejuma me no who in here wo talent in the here you show me show real mejuma maye and you demand me contracts and you demand me me didn't scare free mu.
All right. Okay. Tilly.
Okay. And come away my follow pa but so create me ni papa me na street ti I am to me come every but then I you know I be conversation and we have to have it In June 2017, Socrates appointed as director for Creative Arts Agency NCC, Commission on Culture. 28th April 2020, Ghana Web, Socrates Safo chairs Film Classification Committee. The same Socrates Safo that doesn't have a degree like a lawyer or whatever was given opportunity by the MPP. You are not just the only one. We have seen Juliet Asante, who just wrote her thesis on being the board chair of Deben. We have seen Honorable Okreku Mante also being given the mandates as a creative. Also the education can home. Now, my thing is, I don't think you are the best person to start this conversation. Because unlike any other creative, because you see only education, you got it. And my question then will be, say, what did you do with the opportunities it did not encourage the MPP in Penyifono to give more of such opportunities to people like you who have the skills of the field, but if you have no money degree, because me sure say if there was something you did stupendously, who say no, I didn't any book in Kwa. And today the likes of you who are the exception and not the rule, I agree. Then you more I didn't start here no. Then I went to me and then I'm here. We didn't get more of you, and I didn't open doors for the likes of you to get more opportunities in the MPP. That is my question. But also, as I said, metimia ko tibi, which means say there is opportunity for creatives in the MPP. However, I agree. So we compare the numbers in the NDC, way more, and some of them, in fact, most of them are not even deputies. They are the head of. I understand, but our conversation now we're having to me, when I listen to it, it sounded some way because I'm like, this is coming from somebody who was given an opportunity by the MPP. So you are not the rule, you are the exception. So what did you do as an exception to make sure that a similar door like that opens for another person? Or what didn't you do until such doors have closed for similar people like you who have the intelligence but without the degree and they are still not getting opportunity in the MPP?
Okay. Wakasapa minia ba winti me pewa no. In the first place, Ubisami said, what did I do? I did a lot. Metimia kakakrebia. I used the opportunity at the commission. I did, and every month, March, a Ghana month. It's my baby. My idea. I spend my money also to promote it. We have Zongo Fest. Nanka ye for the whole Zongo community. Every year, the Zongo community, there will be festivals like we did. We will give awards to Omoma Bom Homodin within the Zongo communities through the arts and culture. And also fizzle out. We have Layer Fest. We have Inter-Schools Cultural Festival. I was bringing back books, reading. Sorry. But I did things and they are there on records. But I was asked to step aside.
By whom?
By the party. Or not by the government. My party, which was in government.
If you were putting in all these initiatives, na Sebio, they were good initiatives, and the credits be buying. Why would you be asked to step aside if she's here? Why?
Okay. And there were a lot. Nipa biti say Arnold, Nemo Bulldogs, Nemo. They were people that we were working together, and they can attest. And bring the own, we can't do it. The challenges of the industry that we were fixing there. But you move on. Who besides said the buyer? One. And I can say I am not the one that should say it, and I should tell you say. I am the one that should say it rather, Because if anything, I'm not speaking for myself, but it's in general.
Yeah, but now we can't answer your idea.
Yeah, me pekwan me fa so am de be dodge answer no. A question now be say no. Me pekwan bi pa me de be dodge. But Honorable Krekumante, mo friend anka obetimi aboa no wa answer on this.
Okay, it's una who experience
yeah. But
so you should be able to tell us why, because you can't just say that in a vacuum.
Yeah, I beg you, say nka me say I was there and you could all attest to it. What am I saying? Then I was asked to step aside. It came public. Where are your public news?
Why?
Because you be by say onomra meje me position no.
Because only degree. Because that has been the base of
the
communication. It is if let's say
it was not it was not based on degree.
No, okay. So now explain.
It was based on
internal politics.
Yes, but any degree.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Somebody mistakenly gave a letter to another person to come there, and not say, "Oh, osre no nim." Into your kai, what am I say? And it's politics, right or wrong, party first.
No,
this is very ambiguous.
Me pacho, and your president and your appointment. So the president of Ghana.
I was not me pacho. I was not there.
Yes, okay. The president of Ghana at the time appointed Sokri Safo as the National Commission on Culture, and somebody mistakenly also appointed somebody else, and their authority held over the president. And then I'll say what you have to say.
When it comes to appointments,
educate me, please.
Educate you.
Yes, please do.
When it comes to appointments, political appointments, no, there are so many dynamics.
Okay.
And even during MPP time, no, you see a mobile letter. Near some will be full front, so the same letter, a similar position, a happy year. What am I saying? Oh, and me say it happen in politics. Even MPP, NDC by Krampono, AB, ACC.
Name a few, because I've been following this thing. I know some of them they have changed it, but as to
but
me and the same.
Yeah, AC, Minuaba, AC.
What's the NDC for by?
And me say AC, yeah, and this MPP time AC, yeah, even now cry, and your dear be a subit a two bit. What am I saying? But Okase mi mubo dinya. I will not be able to give you off head a din, but during MPP time, this
is what I'm thinking, that you are being appointed to do something. You've been appointed to do something. Now, a Jumanu yen seni fata. Then out of nowhere, obi internal politics or whatever reason, or bemo before for let us say, may take you over a position. Me person me busa asem. Didn't it ever prick you and answer why were you not bold enough to boycott the party when you were being looked down on? Because I don't know if whether you don't qualify to be there, and as will be feel say Nisa Socrates why? Because that is very disrespectful on all levels, especially when you are working and providing results.
And by the way, that's the same thing that happened at the classification, right? You'll be see what pim.
And we a bit slightly different.
Boot for boot.
Why were you not bold enough to boycott the party if you were being disrespected to this level?
My party, right or wrong, I stand for my party.
So what's the essence of this conversation? Why are you jealous?
Oh, mommy.
No, so
me say, asema me kaya no. Asema me kaya no. One, Wawa can and ma confirms that it's not just about me. It's not just about me. There were a whole lot of people behind me.
Can you mention 2-3 people who went through this shameful ordeal like you? Because you see, when this issue happened, all of us were hurt. To be honest with you, we didn't have details. No crowd when you made him so great. Sadi any see and I tea aftermath. But nay ya enti say Tilly Bisa Assembly who is the appointing authority for such positions. With my boy, for the records. When is appointment?
Okay.
When is sign appointment?
Was it the chief of staff?
Who was it? When is sign? They didn't be see with this. So also when is sign?
And mind you, this appointment was what now?
You giving us things you did. What my record on your ma? Kakrebi pen our boss so chire.
Unlike
Because your conversation is important and it's even not just ending there. Say it's educating President Mahama to be careful. So the masama and common area bana ye dino obi aye dino. Obi churo obi nchuro. But there asama dia ba ye kano. Ebwa creatives no. But me kire say enye baako enye mienu. Wo second position. Ye di obi a obetimi lord over you. Ebetena wo so. Emma you became inefficient even though we all see your effort. Enti o letter o je no mesrɛ wo appointing authority no eye wan
Cause we letters are ye appointing for ye nim say ye Callistus Mahama and a sign most of them and do. Enti more time no. Why na na extra appointment letters?
And by the way, the thing he just said, say I didn't know we are not any budog no the which means say it wasn't fresh appointment. Say na you who say na yeka or say NDC for there's a mistake na that yo. This is something I be appointing na all year juma or see or the zone go first someone dey ba or the way which means say there was you were working. Your appointment was functional and was valid. At what point did they invalidate it?
help us for the records.
When it comes to appointments, there are two ways that appointments are done. Sometimes the minister, upon the advice of the president okay. can issue appointment letters okay. to people into certain agencies. Okay. And then the president himself okay. may also issue an appointment. Okay. When the minister issue an appointment, FOB, so to me call chief of staff ho, na oko rectify. And no me appointee, you know, and yet me mejuma. What am I saying? So, me say.
When a minister appoints you to a key position like Odiana, as a minister, eko rectify with the
chief of staff.
And sana
rectify.
No. Give me the right way. Sorry, but no. Like no.
Who can rectify? Means there's a mistake. I'm going to change it.
No, yeah, sorry, brofuna hamikakra. Say Okokobo chief of staff amaniye.
Final confirmation.
Yes, validation.
Yeah.
Before appoint an benya letter na. And after appoint an enya letter na ko say verification na o pese wo kire na confirmation no.
Ni nyina no ebia say Okokoye ansa.
Etina je say a minister secret appointment say on ya bo chief of staff na edi hu komo ansa na secret nsaka letter no. Na nyese secret nsaka wie ni afre chief of staff ya bo ye the letter secret na pese o kire no.
So are you saying in your case the minister jammed the gun, brought you no it's not chief of staff.
That means you're not qualified.
No, but if he was not qualified, why was he given the job in the first place that he was doing and providing resources?
You are here, so lay the cards straight.
I have laid it, please. If you want to understand, you understand it easily. Tobase may say, when it comes to appointments, a minister.
That one is exaggerative. Socrates, wo dear no, wo appointment now. Ye ma wa ye sambe you fi hono. Why the ma wo appointment letter? And why the second one by Ujamano? Simple. The president appointed me, and then the minister gave another letter to somebody else.
And let me say, when it comes to appointments, a minister, upon the advice of the
you, Socrates, is your situation.
Who appointed
it was the minister who gave me
the appointment.
Letter.
Okay.
What am I saying?
That's
good. And everything was okay. Then
did he confirm with the chief of staff, like you said?
Yes.
He confirmed.
Yes.
So the president, once the chief of staff knows, the president knows. So the president, the chief of staff, everyone got to know. Say Socrates has been appointed to this place. Okay. Then the second person took a letter, also written by who?
I don't know.
Whom?
I don't know.
So why did you leave?
Why did I leave?
Yes. No, why did you leave? So you see,
is the case now? Interrogating my appointment.
Yes, because you are the
wait. I think the issue under discussion here is about what I said that I envy my colleagues in the NDC. Per the appointment and the respect I
think sir, this angle is coming in because of
yes, and
the
that
answer
angle,
you gave Tilly.
That angle
So,
I have explained.
Okay.
How you feel about it is up to you.
No.
Yes, it's up to you.
Yeah.
So
it's not the angle.
No. That was.
Tilly
We are not talking about. We are not here.
Councillor, I'm the one doing the interview.
We are not here to discuss.
No, hold on.
We also have the right to have an understanding. We don't
Yes.
We are
So
not
when it
here
gets
to
to your
talk
turn,
about.
then you
We are
can-
not
you
here
can
to talk
make
about
your submission.
technicalities of appointments. No, that's not the issue. That's not the issue. I only respected you to give you the background to clear something because you were asking about your appointment, Matthias,
Okay.
and I've given to you.
Yeah, so here's my thing. All this time beside, I just wanted to know and see, and see Socrates where he did on this matter, and he even said it. That's a party idea. And that is why I agree with Councillor that Socrates is one of the biggest problems of this industry, because he is able to identify by his experience, he's able to identify the problem. But when it comes to the part where we are looking for solution, he wears party colors, and he never wants us to talk about the problem. Exactly what he has done. He has brought up, you just told us that this thing is an altruistic agenda, and come and crawl for. But when it came to the cracks where you have to divulge the real information for us to see the problem, we say no, a party idea. So a party idea now also for party idea. Why is it our concern? Why is it our concern? Because I am sure, and that's why I said you are the exception, you are not the rule. There are a lot more people who maybe they have gone through your same situation, got their appointment because only degree in free and obi wa when yampo because you only degree obi si wa onya yo and I did internal politics na dey real no am ejuma na chichi ne sagu na chi bo no bra ne su. Same thing that happened to you. So if today by the declaration you have made, which is a bold declaration that you made, that can change the conversation to help every crime come on no, if you allow yourself every crime the next MPP government you'll be the minister straight. What you're saying, but because you always will put party colors ahead of the industry problem and how to resolve it, now that's what so that we'll see the crack of the problem. We'll say a party colors, so a party colors so crazy suffer in silence.
But comment I mean
jealous in silence.
But comment
brood in silence.
All right, Councillor, patch off a microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, Tilly, my comment. I made my comment, my truth, my observation. What am I saying? It is about me. So to tell me say I should suffer in silence, I should whatever purpose or whatever reason, I said it.
But I said it's not about him; it's about other people. It's not.
He's saying
my
his
observation.
Experience and observation.
Yes.
Which is true, anyways.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
true.
the show, no, yanko show no so that day no go say you discuss with you. It was something that pop up, and I can send ya mimi huno. The other technicalities around it, a different matter. What am I saying? And a different matter.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's impartial. It's about me, how I see things. And I believe, say, my party have learned a lesson that's giving another opportunity. Those who are peeved today are Oma Tiadano. They know, say, giving another opportunity, the party will not treat them the same way. And they will now come on board. What am I saying? They will come on board to bring the party back.
Okay, Councillor, Webacho for microphone. Turn.
Yeah. Sana Socrates, I conclude the assembly. No crop is so chance, me and di komo, and we here. But me to Socrates for say, when you're the first and last. Say, party in komo scene, on fanko party page so, but I can't radio so. Because just na ya channel pa on the internet. When the last word so can see here, wahano. No crepa o. Say no crese enkrofo ho ye peeved ye hurt with this degree issue pantina secret ebe trans kan ya na chese ni concluding matter kan see idea me mo be this ankomo e biom obedwom so secret any time pa no we go read the things people have written. The conversation was not taken lightly. It could be said your uncle being poor, they are peeved their head like Sana Kayano. But they came to hide behind and wrote a lot of things. And I was thinking, say, after the whole week, one of the biggest plays you've gotten, it could be, say, Halifax end discussing you. But Hannah discussion, a bit more tilted to let them know what you are. But Sana how they confide, need your kind. And an example now, my in the hamino. Say, yen na yeti hono. Tilika say, you are an exception to this conversation. You're my appointment. But unfortunately, no, appointment na your man, which I am to me, yeah. Ye ready. What say, you ready because we need degree, which means authority to prove yourself at baby I know share. No, the party saw it. But say your degree in tia, I didn't hear you, and you do be baho. What say the appointed one? Only mu say yes, I appoint you before fraud. This is a big insult to the creative art industry. Mantida say yeah, any other person be say our party no. Just say be our boame. Everybody say asime sinso yeah nisa. Yera mama mu de ye ba ye. Ye de obi ko ho a ni ye yi no. Ye ma 2 letters. Menti 2 letters ni bi. Ye mpewe ni ye yi na fio. Wo de ye antida so bi si ye mpe secret. Ye kai ministerial appointment by ye deputy up and down. When lobby you. But ye GD say ye no ko sa ministry ho na o domu suko. Party manifesto. Nyama mo church ododo nyina secret. Nyame anim ni kura nie party fo be di adan dey say majority of the things that they formulated to help them ni now you ho. Eti anu kura say nye degree e ne dey ran ade no. But the secret efe mu a 2 letters aba and the one that came was stronger than it. I say minister no appoint you no on pewasem o taw o hiaw oni so ni ahonden and on do be people na enum and another letter fi be bia wo se won kire be enu fi wo de fi minister no ho but me hwe say between the minister and the chief of staff when they want ahonden then the president and his excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo who knows your capability in a name personally and na onim say assemble si a nipo to me friend e secret. So be any say the creative art industry crony team NDC for crisis here NDC for see akromo party mu on be kan no crese nyama bebre omo ye nyina secret anu to me ko dimbi because secret has a love for the place. It is a president at your letter no see secret gianchen na ya fa simra now see any degree ti and any competence ti na your party internal nyama I just say patch they say memo bi am born homodin obi an fe ni bring your party. Don't be a creative art person, be party because you be say aside the secret I didn't know how to say go or say I love my party. Okay, bro, I love my party. I love my party into no hono yeah but ya me this no this degree conversation. One of the places bullying sections in Ghana the ministry. And as our area hono can be leadership and an authority and in same bibliba. Sa degree nkoma wo kan no nkrofo di madie same first degree. You nkrofo bi bretu ni omo en fato ba you miss some permission to be nka. But more performing well in their areas. Mete wase say your industry no your degree here. Yera mama ya ade wa point nkrofo. But there are some key positions be me who said the entry requirement. Even about public service, civil service. Some positions be a degree and what must say that level near the good. And you say no entry requirement there. You ain't mean blame me president be, and I ain't mean blame you be say. You find say be if I'm appointing somebody to become an ambassador for example a certain country. That's the entry requirement by standards a first degree. Na till you clear ni pan what must say now I party adwuma na osefata say enfama no na odi degree ni dia and the president na enfama na enye obi na kumantwi what must say bo no because I realize say most of your microphone no omo ni say party na mo wura mu no omo use sa degree asem to hwa mo nkrofo no bebre ni nyina edu baby a anko yama bebre ko school so be kaya na game paye ma pa with a lot of MPP boys no person mo because mo be position da achi bebre ko ye law ni nyama enti wasemeti ase ya anji nkrofo ba wo de na ye ya se nye degree nti na yi wo fi ho a na se MPP fo no de ti omo yi wo de da achi bi wan campo a ye wie show yi a wo be chro ye be ready na ye ba next week a ye be ka chen nkrofo de nti a ye yi wo ho what am I say but you
okay now as someone so critical potty I think say questions so my there is where he's expressing his jealousy what can say na ni break NDC phone because rightly so I think say yen na yatna platform so I can say President John Dramani Mahama bai sabio creative for na womo ewo na ba mu a I mean normal campaigning various campaigns and works and emu dodo na me angasa metina ha advocate say there should be creative people in some of these areas and be after 4 years no ye kana say ye ka say adwuma no anya ye betumi hu say ye de mo amusu bi kwhye ho na manye den mo anya adwuma so I think say ye din komo na but we are neglecting where the Socrates can say NDC for Dudwana President John Dramani Mahama to me I am a presidential appointment e bi mu Bridget to Nansenya yes appointing presidential staffer and other appointments are aba account I think say common pot your hono ye ni amfa ho papa yaw you have the final say on this one
yep okay say ni aba papa ba chop boy nkakra o because we are confused here
me confuse you here some man cannot say
so great okay the menti ase ya me bon hye
yaw pachoka
mami kasi you are taking my I still
asem party na da ho no mo de ko far baby foforo
yeah
yes
okay sir you are not being fair to us in the conversation
to be honest with you
because the problem they say he's jealous of the people because here mama mo appoint people a and ye nyina ye nim eti e ko kan wasem aye den ono ne jealousy ni say ya mo mesre wo obo onye creative person ya manu Ghana Post say wo kra nye creative kra o ya di Ghana Post ya nsa so no so ye aname boa no e director o say MD o say den ya ne share ngro bebre share baby sat mas here yen grow be share bi bankrophobia yen adwen say no mo share baby a nanka eboa yen pa na mo yi won ne hayen eti ne ebo ho no say ya mark Socrates commission on culture whatever na watumi still match ye share Ghana where nyama bebre Socrates ye chirim hwe bi adin ko share liaison officer under GTA a huge caliber of this man uyi if you no na ya ka no ye mama ye mfa ye ho job ye when yaka bako sem nenka ho so be ko tra office ko na ko so nyama so re die ye nyama ye sike se twa be se ye ntua no
so great and pan
ye twa be se ne ni sika no this san kata or innovative kabisa ka no hin mun jade mo kika no the guy has been punished in the party na ye kan ye mama dey fire ho opfamo bia. Why did they remove the guy? For what?
Yeah. So basically, I think in terms of the comparison, no, I believe council make it a compelling point. More about the treatment and the feeling that period than against appointments President Mahama because I believe under Akufo-Addo no, there were also creatives who occupied certain positions and I believe
I don't think Socrates said there were no creatives.
No, so in America say about appointing more creative about condition of service asem now no about condition of service but that condition of service near there when you just like a jealousy be a baby. Yes, boss. 8 years here, ye king. Yeah, yet now 8 years. Yet now platform you can say.
4 years.
Yet now platform we so.
4 years. 8 years. You took somebody off the place. Say first time and qualify. Why did you give me a second chance and 4 years? If so, Magoke Kumante was made a deputy meboa. Oboa ma na wamboa mo. Onu antran ka senya bi do wonti manye. Meboa. Juliet you true this man ye. Wan e yi ano. Enye so kenya yi ano. Hwe bra so kenya bra na Juliet. Yama Juliet car, Yama Socket car. He was working as liaison officer for GTA. Are you serious?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, maybe appointment they send their qualifications so better because
now you are back to the conversation.
Qualifications so
great tampon you cannot do something
because no credit ya me nim em say council scenario amane ambassadorial you know or call back to school for international and the masters Dumelo and the masters KOD koye the masters it definitely self improvement there was a creative. But in terms of that jealousy conversation, it's about appointment, it's about condition of service. And I think there was a great failure on the previous government because the president never did the Jankroma. The man the position on the office, and they are the same thing. But into a condition of service, no. And now I'm feeling about into or more offices and more feel no mutia so many because. Period of moving power no or me was it period of me my creative industry no anya the we are even so create envision no from
say butu cry when your position great tampon in your position
not a position
Tilly yeah we was submission
say era we say me be on your position yeah ka say but so born home in your position onompe anti nkrofo mu di na chi on your position but
na so critical so nye no pe na nkrofo bi asem na oka am see de wa fam no
well no want me eliminate the film no dey want me eliminate the film na na base of experience no and
liaison officer na nkwala di hu di akro
anu dia
all right okay Minje mo final words na yen sorry so na Jumedie wo ho ne yen to aso so great final words Unishi Kabio Tilly all right
final words
okay final words pacho we dey me dey go straight to legacy life straight Kill Beat the second artist after King Promise your friend Raven will drop a very beautiful project called Fever. It's out now. Very beautiful Afrobeat, two-tier sound quality. Now we say Kill Beat, and it's a multiple award-winning producer. No, the sound is good, the music is beautiful. It's monko online platforms. Now monko check Raven. Now monko search for a friend is in Fever. It's a beautiful track.
Yeah.
Bese me fa akunya we so da Ghana for us. Since I release agenda response no. I am very massive, especially MCI. You fall in love with the music and me ma Ghana for. We are bringing back the sexiness in her life. In Timpacho, call phone so. Na search RCEE agenda streaming platform be next streaming my me that's pa.
All right, so great.
Yeah. Again, asema me kan ye. I spoke my truth about my party. Let the party people down there are aggrieved based on this experience, especially the creatives. And I know creatives no be me and I mobilize omo. Nim ni akoso. Nim how they are feeling. I pray that it will sink down to the party, the DNA of the party. No, it will sink down to it. I pray, and let nobody think that I speak selfishly about my no. It's about omwa edimechi, the creatives na edimechi.
All right, Councillor. Final words.
Say nyame adoma July busima ebe wudami. The 3G award yebe launch for the year 2025. Event in Basso October 24th ewa United States of America. And the nomination and the announcement Basso and a new appointment for directors and PROs and workers, bloggers. Nina Basso, month of July, and to be on lookout for the event, the 3G Award, and it will be fun for us in the United States of America on the 24th day of October. And to be our team is here, July, first week in July, nomination be about, but when him say most of the honorary awards, one I'm picking Crawford and money omoba. And two teams is here now will be out doing any partner but home modding, very impactful. Oh, baby, I would say musical, dressmaking, fashion, media, even in humanitarian places, But one day not get in touch with me, and I get in touch with Abena Cheboache and now Abigail Ashley. You can just get in touch with all of them. I don't their handles. And I'll frame me direct and so 0277 60 96 44 for any nomination you have. Or boss be about home modern pa or Juma Kessier. Now open so woman honorary award nibi United States of America. But modern now get in touch with me. But me koi kai say makpe ginger honey chips ko say boaje ba kwa yin any mo ha we na ageno we are no we ya kra onto uhwegu ni nsem kakra po 3 days no beda wase
ameme wo na oton ade ameme meto san ye de wo ton ade
salanso who says you say na ye pon wan fa ne ntem an show botuma onwia na wafa na wa wohwem we radio so de wofa he befa 0277 Israel Abeng entimasesan come left 0277 609 644 makpe ginger honey chase over front deck so security phone e bu ho baji bewi why na beboa o nyame hira mu nyina na wohwa ye wura mu asemfo fraba ye ma security nkoda ye be sha hwini biom leading trender. Good night.
Let Socrates breathe. Your friend agenda. It's here for me, Kawo. I'm on the phone now. Mutimin Kame Kramo. 16th of August. Ekoso Live. Ewo. Atlantic City. Ghana Music Awards USA. Yeah, they bramo. Make Kawo say wuti. Yeah, menasi say wumbuki hotel. Yeah, wo yaboko. Because hotels no are fully booked. But quite reserving. Yeah, this is fully booked. Make Kawo say Ghana Music Awards USA. Sit edition way me say baby aye kwakoye na a holiday destination what is here eh baby aye kone kwakwadwedwe ye ho eh for sa 3 days ni nyina no enti for me kai mo amanani phone na mutie me monto mo ticket ya monto ni sisi $200 $150 and $100 I think so me kai will say a 3-day event celebration for music. Ghana Music Awards USA this year. You see, the more in Shona, the more componano. It's a beach vibe. It's a holiday destination. And to Ubeji will leave with me patron Shasia Jiri says here. Ube book you hotel at Shasia booking says here. Ubeto ticket at Tony says here. Because I feel way there, a crabeshe. I feel way there. Messi hotels are just see one. Ome bukia manasa. Si say akadiaka. Enti mene wa mesha sie afresesia na afei me buki mi hotel na matome ticket na ye na ye shia from the 15th to the 18th. Yes, 15th near pre-welcome party. Yeah, welcome you be on the 16th near the awards on Ashishaso. On the 17th, yes, started for full party. A pay was so. Now just idea will be a conifie. Ain't you know? I feel way there. Ghana Music Awards USA. Yes, say your holiday destination near the Moko Atlantic City. They wouldn't say you cry and EJ was so. It's a beach vibe. It's a beach this thing, you know. It will be on the tickets in the Asia. But when you're our United Showbiz, so madam was my comedy the MC I boy me that's be it's here for me pa my chopa me fa said I can see mommy producers yes Salamat Pencil Israel Peter Square and our face so Clinton now me social media guys now me that must be brave me that must agenda and they are setting a disocrete a human ending ya grabo if I try na makwa streamy a year secret artist and your mama na why me papa cho so great for CD brother me mama next week we see the mama